is asleep in his red Kia four-door rental, which has Florida plates. The police spot a gun in his lap. They decide to tap on the window to wake him up, but make a plan. If he draws the gun, take action.
Police department.
Police! 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 Put your hands.
The body cam video does not conclusively show that Macklin reached for his gun. Macklin survived the shooting and police immediately began treating his injuries. Several investigations have been opened into the officer's conduct. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, Sasha, looking at inbound 70, that is a crash on the ramp to northbound 65. Left lane is blocked. Traffic stop and go back to Emerson Avenue. Crash, Claire Lawrence, northbound 465 at 71st. Still stop and go after I-72 East 56th Street. Crash clear. Inbound 69 at 106. We are stop and go from 126th Street down to 82nd. It gets worse the closer to 82nd you get because that's a crash blocking two right lanes at the moment. Traffic is sponsored by Comcast Corporate. Comcast Corporate, help your business thrive and stay connected with Comcast Business Complete Connectivity Solution. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. I'm Matt Baer with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us on Twitter at WIBC Traffic.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money. Easy to learn, easy to use, small business software tailored just for you. With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Most people approaching retirement age are on the lookout for ways to save money. And when it comes to saving on your Medicare prescriptions, look no further than your neighborhood Walgreens. We're a preferred network pharmacy with many plans nationwide, which could mean lower copays for you. Fill your prescriptions at a Walgreens pharmacy and start saving today. Walgreens participates with the AARP Medicare RX from United Healthcare, WellCare, and Cigna. Walgreens participates with other plans. See walgreens.com/Medicare for details.
And now here's your weather from the American Standard Heating Weather Center. It's mostly cloudy today with some showers late in the day and a high of 52. I'm Sasha Nixon. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's lab-grown or mined diamond store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The Republican Party in Indiana sees zero problem in record spending, in record taxation.
And Casey Daniels.
You went out there and said, please vote for me. You debated other people on why you're the better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 8th. It is 7 minutes after 9, and you're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Name me one world leader who changed places with Xi Jinping. Name one. Name me one. Okay, we got yelled at last night for about 80 minutes. President Biden gave his second State of the Union address that acted as a soft launch for his 24 presidential bid. He got cheers from Democrats, especially when he called to ban assault weapons and to codify Roe v. Wade. And he got the jeers from the Republicans on the border and also Social Security. He called for political unity to finish the job.
A lot of yelling.
Finish the job.
A lot of repeated yelling.
Oh, boy. It was a divided Congress. 80-minute speech.
Sounded like my wife from the back door when I'm out in the yard doing something.
Finish the job! Edge it! Finish it! You started it, finish it!
I mean, okay, so the big takeaway last night or yesterday wasn't even Biden's speech. It was what Kevin McCarthy did before the speech, which then Biden was able to reference numerous times during the speech and totally stuck it in the face of the Republicans that Kevin McCarthy just gave everything away before the speech. We'll get to that in a moment. But, Casey, there was one piece of audio that I wanted to touch on just very briefly, because we could play the whole speech and laugh at all of it, but I wanted to try to kind of give a well-rounded synopsis of those of you who were not subjected to the speech last night. So, of course, Biden literally just let a spy balloon from China fly across the entire country collecting data and who knows what else. And yet he had the audacity to claim during the State of the Union China's influence is decreasing.
Before I came to office, the story was about how the People's Republic of China was increasing its power and America was failing in the world. Not anymore.
Remember this? We talked about this before. The show, what is it, Impractical Jokers? Where there's the kind of the three comedians, and they're behind a backdrop somewhere, and another comedian is in a public place, and they have an earpiece where they're telling him ridiculous things to say to the people around him to solicit a response. That almost sounded like, in many parts of this speech, almost sounded like the Impractical Joker guys were in Biden's ear going, now say China's influence is decreasing.
As the spy balloon just floated across the country. I've had my wisdom teeth pulled.
Yes.
And I was swollen for days and couldn't talk.
Sure.
And it was more pleasurable than that State of the Union address last night. 5 big moments from the speech I want to cover.
Go ahead, yes.
Okay, one is when Marjorie Taylor Greene was shouting out, liar! Called him a liar. And then Kevin McCarthy was shushing everyone. He had his own Ben Affleck moment, right? It was like J-Lo was there. Shh, shh. You also had when Biden repeated the claim that he created 12 million new jobs. And also the ban assault weapons now.
What is an assault weapon? I've asked this question for years, and I asked it on Twitter at Rob M. Kendall last night. What is an assault weapon? Like what is the definition? The purpose of a gun is to what? Shoot something.
Yeah.
Right? Every weapon, knife, gun, whatever, the premise of it is to assault something.
Yeah. Finally, there was the kiss. Oh boy, did you see the kiss?
So this is a legitimate concerning thing, right? Joe Biden's wife was totally smooching with Kamala Harris's husband.
The second gentleman.
It wasn't like a peck on the cheek, which is fine. This was like a full-fledged kiss.
They were holding hands, brushing each other's hair, making out up in the box.
I mean, this was
in the box.
This was like a weird. I mean, am I wrong, Casey? Because look, I'm a total partisan hack, and so I totally think Biden's a loser and a weirdo. But I mean, this was odd, wasn't it?
It did come. It lingered. Let's just put it like that. It lingered a little past the comfortable stage.
And again, it needs its own segment because the biggest part of yesterday was not anything Biden did, because everything Biden did we expected, right? It was more government spending.
How great the economy is.
It's all the stuff we expected. It is the Kevin McCarthy thing, though, and next segment we will go into it, was the story of the day, because to steal a phrase from the late football coach Dennis Green, the Republicans are who we thought they were. And Kevin McCarthy proved that yesterday.
Yeah.
However, Sarah Huckabee Sanders gave the response to the State of the Union. And let's play a little bit of that and then get into it.
Beyond our border, from Afghanistan to Ukraine, from North Korea to Iran, President Biden's weakness puts our nation and the world at risk. And the president's refusal to stand up to China, our most formidable adversary, is dangerous and unacceptable. President Biden is unwilling to defend our border, defend our skies, and defend our people. He is simply unfit to serve as commander-in-chief.
So she's getting great reviews from this response. Now, you know me, Casey. I like the wild, the wacky, the eclectic, and the unpredictable. So her just reading a prompter didn't do much for me. But a lot of people said she knocked this out of the park.
I thought she came across as very professional and very well thought out. She went on to say that his weakness puts our nation and the world at risk. And she did take a dig at his age. She said, at 40, I'm the youngest governor in the country. And at 80, he's the oldest president in American history. And she asserted that it's time for a new generation of Republican leaders. And that was kind of the theme of her speech. It's time for a new generation of Republicans.
Okay, Casey, in the hierarchy of success, she's 40, so she is just slightly older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of us has been more successful and more influential? She's a governor, but we're very important on the most powerful media outlet in the state. So where am I in the comparison?
You're trying to size yourself up.
Well, I'm just trying to see
her.
how I'm doing compared to Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Well, I think you both sound very intelligent and well thought out.
Yeah. See, they should let me give the response.
I don't know. She was pretty controlled.
Yeah.
During her response.
Well, that's my point. I mean, everybody says how great it was. Well, again, how hard is it really to read off a teleprompter? Right? This is not Lincoln writing the Gettysburg Address here. She's reading words someone else wrote.
Ask Biden, because he mumbled through that speech last night.
Well, okay, Casey, but again, I think we should have, by traditional political standards, look, again, this is not Reagan writing, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. It's ripping on Joe Biden for words someone else wrote. How hard, like, I could read a teleprompter for whatever, 5 minutes or however long she's got to give that response. I don't think this is something we should like hoist her up on our shoulders and carry her off the field like the end of Rudy or anything like that. But a lot of people, I guess, are doing that today.
Well, she's making sweeping reforms to the education system in her state and calling on all Republicans to take a look at what she's doing because she considers herself a leader in that area.
All right, so before we get to Kevin McCarthy screwing every American like we promised that he would, you remember Kevin McCarthy, right? Jim Banks voted for Kevin McCarthy 15 times and said how great he was. So we'll get to that here in just a second. Trump did his own response to the State of the Union, and I actually thought it was pretty solid. It's a little longer than we normally play, but it's Trump, and people like Trump, so let's hear it.
Here's the real State of the Union. Over the past 2 years under Biden, millions and millions of illegal aliens from 160 different countries have stormed across our southern border. Drug cartels are now raking in billions of dollars from smuggling poison to kill our people and to kill our children. Savage killers, rapists, and violent criminals are being released from jail to continue their crime wave. And under Biden, the murder rate has reached the highest in the history of our country. Biden and the radical Democrats have wasted trillions of dollars and caused the worst inflation in half a century. Real wages are down 21 months in a row. Gas prices have soared and are now going up much higher than even before. And the typical American family is paying $2,200 in increased energy and food costs each year. Joe Biden's weaponized Justice Department, and I'm a victim of it, is persecuting his political opponents. His administration is waging war on free speech. They're trying to indoctrinate and mutilate our children. He's leading us to the brink of World War III. And on top of all of that, he's the most corrupt president in American history, and it's not even close. But the good news is we are going to reverse every single crisis, calamity, and disaster that Joe Biden has created. I am running for president to end the destruction of our country and to complete the unfinished business of making America great again. We will make our country better than ever before, and we will always put America first.
All right, so there you go.
There's Trump. It's Kendall and Casey on 93.
All right, this is the real State of the Union.
Well, it's more like this is the real response, you know?
Right.
I mean, it's not as controlled as Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but it was honest.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to get into the most important thing that happened yesterday, Kevin McCarthy. And it only took about 4 weeks, Casey, stabbing every single American in the back. Gee, who told you that was going to happen?
Rob Kendall explains next on 93 WIBC.
competing visions.
Over the last 2 years, let's look at the results.
President Biden and the Democrats have failed you.
Inflation is coming down. Gas prices are down. Food inflation is coming down.
Biden administration doubling down on crazy.
China threatens our sovereignty.
Defend our skies.
The state of our union is apparently under Chinese surveillance.
And the election is more than a year and a half away.
It's time for a change.
What happens next happens here. 93 WIBC.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Window Nation has the coolest deal ever for keeping you warm. Get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy with 0 down payment, 0 monthly payments, and pay 0 interest for 24 months. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of Window Nation's deep discounts, all while reinvesting in your biggest asset. Not to mention the savings on your energy bills for years to come. Up to 43% of your home utility bill goes to heating and cooling. With Window Nation windows, you can cut those energy bills during these cold winter months by keeping your hot air in and cold air outside.
Go with the window company that has installed over 1 million windows in over 150,000 homes, including mine. All with a 96% customer satisfaction. Call 866-90-NATION to get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy, no limit. Plus, no down payments, no interest for 24 months. Call Window Nation, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with 0 experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Valentine's gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel.
It's the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody?
Good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Let's take a look at some trending things this morning. Tiki Bob's is closing. For more than 2 decades, it's been part of the downtown Indianapolis nightlife. The owner says criminals are no longer held accountable for their actions, and I refuse to be the scapegoat for the violent crime plaguing Indianapolis. So Tiki Bob's will close.
Another thing of my youth stolen from me by Joe Hogshead.
Did you used to hang out there?
No, not out there, but around there.
Okay.
I usually
You
kinda,
loitered.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're hopping and you're rolling past, and and it just look. We've just seen this at one area establishment after another downtown, in which the risk is not worth whatever reward might be left.
Also trending, Niche Magazine, or actually Niche website, has listed the cities with the lowest cost of living in the country. 3 cities from Indiana made the list.
Wow.
Fort Wayne was number 1.
Uh-huh.
South Bend, Indiana, number 4.
Oh.
Evansville, number 7.
Wow.
And finally trending, the Grammys still, their viewership surged 30% to a 3-year high. They bounced back, having the largest audience since 2020.
Why? Like, what was there something that happened there that you would say, oh, a cavalcade of people are just very excited about the Grammys because so-and-so is performing?
No, they wanted to see Bonnie Raitt win, I guess, and upset all those millennials and Gen Zers.
All right, I said we're going to get the Kevin McCarthy thing, but I need more than like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So why don't we just hold on to that if that's okay? And I wanted to talk about, we actually had this scheduled. I'm just doing a little inside baseball here with Casey, but at the 10:20 segment down there, if you want to scroll down there, we were going to talk about how much money is being wagered on the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
That is an unbelievable amount. So the Wall Street Journal had an article in which they are saying that 50 million people are going to bet on the Super Bowl, and collectively they're going to bet $16 billion with the B dollars in this country. $16 billion is going to be wagered on the Super Bowl. That is unbelievable.
It's up 66% from last year. More people will be gambling this year, probably than ever. And is that because more states have legalized gambling?
Oh yeah, it's got to be, and it becomes accepted, right? And as we see, and this is the thing we always see, that there's always the threat from I call them the do-gooder crowd, where the world's going to end if, and we've seen this in this state on everything. The world's going to end if they legalize sports betting. The world's going to end if you legalize Sunday alcohol sales. And it really shows how ridiculous things like the argument they have now on marijuana, medical marijuana, legalization of recreational marijuana. The world never actually ends. And all that we've seen in the state of Indiana is people having a really good time, spending their own money as they see fit. It makes sports more enjoyable for people to watch, and it creates revenue for the Treasury.
Okay, so this is also going to be the first Super Bowl that's going to be played in a state with legalized sports betting.
Oh, yeah?
So you can bet in the stadium, you can bet around the stadium, and across the country, too.
Now, and we'll get into this with Hammer when he comes in. And
are you going to lay some coin down?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I've not been as into sports betting this past year, obviously with getting married and now the baby and just all this. I've had other things.
Your pennies.
I've had other things on my mind, but I think I may on this one. I won't be doing a Nigel. I won't be throwing 4 bills down on anyone in anger, but I think I may. But it does. But it comes back to, and this is the argument, right, on marijuana or Sunday alcohol sales. I'm not going to, whether I bet on the Super Bowl or not, there's zero reason that a person who wants to place, a consenting adult who wants to place a bet on the Super Bowl shouldn't be allowed to do that. The same way as I'm not going to smoke marijuana if it isn't ultimately legalized. But if someone's going to do that in the privacy of their own home and it doesn't affect me, what do I care? What do I care what Kevin does or you do in the privacy of your own home? It doesn't affect me at all. And we just are a society that wants to be nosy in other people's business. If it doesn't hurt us, if it doesn't harm society, what do we care?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a record-breaking year for sports betting. But one thing I wanted to mention, I was going to save this for trending stories, but I'll tell you now since we're talking about it. There's going to be a Taco Bell big blank Mexican pizza. So available for people in Arizona. It's the Taco Bell Mexican pizza.
No way.
The size of a pizza. Big pizza-sized Mexican pizza.
This is for the Super Bowl?
For the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, Rod Stewart was right. Some guys have all the luck.
I know. It's not a show unless we mention the Mexican pizza. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Is it time to show your furnace some love? We've been bringing the heat since 2006. Contact the Heroes of Heat at Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County. Marshall offers affordable furnace repair and installation, plus convenient financing options are available. Schedule your furnace service with our knowledgeable and friendly technicians at callthemarshallnow.com. Financing is subject to credit approval. Contact us for details. Again, that's callthemarshallnow.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. A competitor has the most popular Lazy Boy sofa for $13.99 plus $179 for delivery. We have the same sofa for $13.49. Free delivery, interest-free financing, saving you $229 compared to the big stores in Indy. And that's just one sofa. The best prices, the best furniture, free delivery only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A change to the school. 32 degrees and overcast here on Monument Circle. I'm Sasha Nixon. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Layoffs are coming to Indiana State University. Kurt Darling reports.
Fewer people are going to college, it seems, and it's something that ISU is certainly feeling the strain of.
We have known for months that we needed to cut $12 million from our budget. That was what the state told us to do.
Dr. Lori Henson, an ISU journalism professor, who will be among those losing her job at the end of the school year. She says lower enrollment and effects still being felt from the pandemic are to blame. President Dr. Deborah Curtis says that they are doing all they can to keep people employed. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Breast cancer is close to our hearts. We're in a women's prison, so a lot of our incarcerated individuals have fought breast cancer while incarcerated at Rockville.
That's Kim Betcher, recreation leader at Rockville Correctional Facility. The RCF also has a hope awareness group for inmates who have undergone or are currently receiving cancer treatment. The goal of this group is to provide a space in which the women can discuss their journeys and learn more about early signs of cancer. Betcher says she is incredibly proud of the group's women and how they support their community. Now for your WIBC Money Update. It looks like the Dow is down 109 points to 34,097. The S&P is down 22 points, and the NASDAQ is down 66 points. I'm Sasha Nixon, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for plenty of advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and foundation, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Get 3 rooms of carpets, zero res cleaned for only $139. And that's really cleaned. 388-5141 or online at zeroresindy.com.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids than ride in an ambulance.
I'd rather have a catch with my dog Curtis than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
If you're feeling a little pressure to find the perfect gift to show someone what they mean to you this Valentine's Day, Cynthia's Hallmark is just the place to find it. It's Terry Stacy, and all 4 locations are Cupid ready. I'm going to start with my favorite from the Dimdaco Giving Collection. Charm bracelets and earrings that are pretty and personal. The charms are what make each set so meaningful. Whether the charms are hearts or paw prints for the pet lovers, they are a beautiful reminder of your love from the Giving Collection. Walk in the door at Cynthia's Hallmark, and you don't have to walk far to find Valentine's Day gifts galore. From South Bend chocolates to exclusive Valentine's Day squishmallows, puzzles, a ceramic light-up Valentine tree, and the wildly popular fresh-cut paper flower bouquets. Send a stunning, colorful flower bouquet that pops up and comes with a greeting card. Just $12.99. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark at 116th and Allisonville Road, 116th and Brooks School Road, 96th and Lantern Road, and off I-70 in Greenfield.
Still thinking about what to get her for Valentine's Day? Make that special occasion last forever and surprise her with a gift from Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
All the moon belongs to
9:34. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Thanks for listening this morning. So let's talk about your buddy, your friend, your pal.
What the hell is this?
Casey, you always start so soon on the
sorry.
bump music.
What is this?
What, this song?
What are you playing?
This is Sam Cooke.
This is Sam Cooke?
Yeah. Which I thought you liked him.
Yeah, that's fine. Carry on. Okay. It's fine. Sorry, Casey, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just like, what are you playing?
Okay, let's talk about Kevin McCarthy. He's defended using the debt ceiling as a bargaining chip to secure spending cuts. He gave these remarks, and he said debt limit debates have been used for nearly every successful attempt to reform federal spending in living history. Why? Well, because the problem only gets solved when both parties come to the table. And then he pointed out that Biden has opposed debt limit increases when he was a senator. They met. Yeah. Nothing was decided. Is everything on the table or is everything off the table? What's going on?
Well, Casey.
It's an arithmetic problem, right?
Casey, my least favorite part of every show, and for those of you watching on the YouTube chat, you're about to see this. Casey can describe what I'm doing here.
Putting his feet up.
Yeah, my least favorite part of every show is where I have to sit back in my chair and come on these airwaves that you can hear from Illinois to Ohio and all points in between and have to tell people how right I was. And, I hate to do that, but that's why the show is so popular, because so often we are so right. And, well, this is one of those instances because, Casey.
Yes.
We told everyone what Kevin McCarthy was. We told everyone what the Republicans in the House would be if Kevin McCarthy was elected speaker. And yet, people like Jim Banks just over and over and over and over, and I forgot how many times I said over, but 15 times in the case of our pal Jim Banks, who, by the way, will not come on this show. He'll come on other shows. He's coming on Tony's show this afternoon to discuss voting for Kevin McCarthy 15 times. They told us how great Kevin was. They told us what a fighter Kev was. They told us how, it's going to be different this time. And well, old Kev has come out of his meeting with Biden and said, well, we can work together. And I think that's kind of weird that you think you can work with a radical lunatic leftist who wants to destroy this country. But Kev said yesterday, well, let's just play the audio of what Big Kev is taking off the table.
Cuts to Medicare and Social Security, they are off the table.
Oh, there it is.
Defaulting on our debt is not an option. But neither is a future of higher taxes, higher interest rates, and an economy that doesn't work for working America.
Okay, go ahead, stop it. Let's stop it. Kevin, if you can for me, I just want to play about the first 5 seconds of that again, so just we can all be very clear of what we heard right there. Can we do that again?
Cuts to Medicare and Social Security, they are off the table.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so he says that he wants a balanced budget while simultaneously claiming that he doesn't want to take steps.
So we told you from the beginning that this guy's a clown, that this guy is an establishment stooge, that any person that Mitch McConnell is openly cheerleading for is not a person that is serious about getting spending or inflation under control. And we told you from the beginning that we were going to find out these bullcrap bills that the Republicans are passing about the IRS agents and, the tax code and all this other stuff means nothing. Mm-hmm. It means nothing. And Republicans always do this when they know things won't pass. They'll pass these bills that they don't actually want to pass, but then they go, look, see what we did? See all these promises we kept? We told you from the beginning that was all bull crap, and the only thing that was going to matter was this debt ceiling negotiation, because that's when they hold all the cards. And Kevin McCarthy right there said the two things that gave him the power, which was the ability to keep defaulting on the national debt on the table, which Biden's told us we can't do. Mm-hmm. So if you're willing to do that, and Biden's told you can't do that in a business negotiation, you have all the power. Everything should be on the table if you actually want to get stuff done. And right there, he's told you, I will not allow the national debt to be defaulted on. So Biden knows all this bravado is just that. It's just bravado. And the thing that actually needs to be reformed, if you're actually serious about getting spending and the national debt under control long term, which is the entitlements, because you have way more people that are getting the entitlements now than people that are working for the entitlements. And I am but a product of the public education system, but simple math tells us when more people are getting stuff than people paying in, that doesn't work. Kevin McCarthy has taken that off the table too. To steal a line from the late, great coach Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were. The Republicans are who we thought they were, and Jim Banks let Kevin McCarthy off the hook.
Okay, so McCarthy said, of all of the dangers we face, the greatest threat to our future is our national debt. Uh-huh. But this is kind of like someone who says, I really want to lose weight. And then they pull up into the McDonald's drive-thru and they order a Big Mac and a large fry and a big chocolate shake and a small Diet Coke. Right? Doesn't work that way.
You are so spot on with that. And look, Jim Banks is a big coward. He's a big fake tough guy who will go on other shows and TV shows and radio shows and bluster and bravado about spending and debt and everything else. But he won't come on this show. And we know you listen, Jim. And I've got the text messages to show that you listen or your people listen, so you're aware of every word I say. You'll go on other shows and be a big tough guy. He will not come on this show. And look, Jim Banks is going to be a U.S. Senator. There's no doubt now they've cleared the field. There's not going to be a challenger to him. And the Democrats are completely useless in this state, so he's going to win that easily. So Jim will be a senator. But the reality is he's not going to come on this show and answer these questions because Jim Banks, along with the rest of the Republican delegation in Indiana, went to the mat for Kevin McCarthy, and he didn't even make it a month, Casey, before he already did the thing that any person with an ounce of common sense absolutely knew was going to happen. He was going to screw the American people because he is not a serious person, and the Republican Party is not a serious party, and this is why I am the way I am with these people, because this was so obvious, and the only reason that you would vote for Kevin McCarthy is if kissing the ring finger of the establishment, Jim Banks, was more important to you than serving the people and the interest of this state. We're done here. It already happened. They didn't even make it a month.
Okay, so if these entitlements are off the table, can they piecemeal it? $1 million here, $1 million here, $1 million here. It's not enough to make a difference, right?
You're $31 trillion in debt. Inflation is skyrocketing. The price of food and everything else is completely out of whack. The steps you would have to take in order to get this stuff under control, and this is what the Republicans are going to do. They're going to get, like you said, $1 million here, and they're going to get $1 million there, and they're going to come out and in a trillion deficits, annual deficits, well over $1 trillion. They're going to look at $100 million in savings, which is fine. We should want those savings, but they're going to get 100 million or 200 million or however many billion and go, look at what we did. Look at all the savings we held out for, and look at how strong and fiscally responsible we are. Yeah, but the deficit's still over $1 trillion. Look at how fiscally responsible we are. But Casey, we knew this.
Mm-hmm.
We knew this last year when Todd Young at the Stacks Pancake House, moving very aggressively towards me in a room full of people, said, I'm not stopping spending the money. We all knew this was going to happen.
Put the fork down and get on the treadmill. It is 9:42. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Let's talk about what Donald Trump has going on. He's escalated his attacks on Ron DeSantis. He was posting pictures of Ron DeSantis that were pretty old, right?
We don't even know it's Ron DeSantis. Okay, Mock and I talked about this was before you got here.
Mm-hmm.
This is how long this photo has been out here. Mock and I talked about this well over a year ago. So there is a photo. Ron DeSantis, his first job, he was fresh out of college, 22, 23, whatever he was. And he was a high school teacher in, I believe, Rome, Georgia. And obviously, Ron DeSantis was very popular because, well, he's charismatic and charming and good looking and all the things he still is today. And there is a photo that surfaced well over a year ago of a guy who looks like Ron DeSantis holding what appears to be a beer in his hand with other
students, staff, faculty.
They're younger women, but you have no idea. Are these women in college? Are these women high school age? Are they 21? There's no context to the photo. This guy looks like Ron DeSantis, but you don't know it's Ron DeSantis. You have no idea who these women are, what age they are. And yet Donald Trump is on his official Donald Trump account retweeting people who, here is the photo of these women and this guy, whether it's DeSantis or whoever, and Donald Trump is retweeting this, and here is the caption of this photo. Here is Ron DeSanctimonious grooming high school girls with alcohol as a teacher, and it's a throw-up face. Trump is, on multiple occasions, retweeting, retruthing, whatever. This is insane, Casey.
Yeah.
This is insane.
He said, that's not Ron, is it? He would never do such a thing. Well, a recent poll from Club for Growth showed that DeSantis leads Trump by 9 percentage points in a hypothetical head-to-head.
And okay, let's pretend
He's getting worried.
Let's pretend the guy is DeSantis, Casey. Let's just say this is Ron DeSantis. You have no idea who these girls are. They certainly look like they could be college-age girls. And if he's a 22 or 23-year-old teacher and he's at a college party with college-age people who are of legal age to drink, there's absolutely zero wrong with that. And, Kev's a party animal. Kev, when you were 22, 23, you ever venture into a college party where you didn't exactly know everyone's age? That ever happened to you? Did you ask everyone, may I see your photo ID to know that you're 21 years old?
No, I didn't really care.
No, because it doesn't happen to anyone. Every dude under the sun who had any sort of college experience or social experience in their early mid 20s, whatever, wandered into various houses and parties and took pictures with people. And they didn't say, may I see a photo ID to see your age? Thank you.
Yeah, the junior was hanging out with the sophomore.
This is ridiculous that this is what Trump's trying to hang his hat on.
He sounds serious 1 minute and then does something like this the next, and that's where you lose people. It's 9:46. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So we've been talking for a long time about how Karine Jean-Pierre just doesn't answer questions. She defers and refers and does all of that. And even people on her own team now are saying that she is stonewalling. So we're going to get to that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. We will recap the State of the Union. Tommy Lahren will join us, 93 WIBC.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, over-designed, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code DANCE at checkout. That's harrys.com, code DANCE. Enjoy!
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
Every small business owner knows business happens everywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. Get started for just $40 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. And ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card.
Flight 291 is now boarding.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New 100 megabits per second internet and Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the first step to peace of mind is controlling your power with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer, Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
I've looked under chairs. I've looked under tables. I try to find the key to 50
What?
million fables.
Can I talk now?
Oh, yeah.
Your show.
Okay.
Casey's trying to wait now because I called her out.
You told me I'm talking too fast before, so
You came in very quickly. I can tell you when you don't like the bump music, you come in very quickly.
it's 9:50. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Casey, you'll notice on the YouTube chat, Casey will sing to herself when she likes the bumper music.
Mhm.
That's why it goes on longer.
You think
Yeah.
so? Well, I've noticed sometimes, though, when we let the bumper music go too long, that Facebook and YouTube will take it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's why I
Oh,
try
wow.
to get in there quick to say a word so that your good commentary can get out to
thank
the
you.
masses.
I appreciate that. It's
That's
very nice
that's
of you.
what I'm
Thanks.
doing.
Thank you
I'm
for
working
caring.
it for the team, guys.
Excuses.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
So I'll just start. Maybe I'll just burp and then let the music play so that we get some audio from us in there. Okay, let's talk about the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre. She has been blasted. She tried to explain the revelation that there had been 3 Chinese spy balloons during the Trump administration, but the administration wasn't informed. And when she was asked about it, her answer went something kind of like this. Yeah, so look, I think that, and we've talked about this before, about how let me be clear.
That's a pretty good impression.
You like that?
It was great. How
Okay.
long did you practice
I
that?
didn't blink as much as she does.
How long did that take you to do? Did you do that one take?
Yeah, that was one take. Are you impressed?
That's pretty amazing.
Scott Walker tweeted out what a load of crap to her answers. And even The View now is questioning her abilities as press secretary.
Yeah, it's so bad that even The View, Sunny Hostin, here is Sunny Hostin grilling Corinne Jean-Pierre over the stonewalling.
As press secretary, you face some scrutiny for what some say is stonewalling reporters, slow dripping information, and saying that the search was over before new batches of documents came to light. The president, though, said he has no regrets about how this was handled. Your response to the criticism?
So let me first say, and I've responded to this before, the information I have is the information I was provided at the time by the White House counsel.
But that's fine. But you didn't. It's the same thing with Mike Pence, right? It's one thing to say, I don't. When he got asked on national TV on ABC about those documents, about if he had classified documents, it'd be one thing to say, I certainly don't think I have them. If they would be there, they'd be there by mistake. I'll do a thorough checking of my own properties, and I'll see, and then I'll get back to you right away. Cool. We're all fine with that. But when you go on national TV and you do the holier than thou, well, of course they don't have documents, but there'd be no reason for them to be there because you're trying to score political points. And I have no sympathy for you. You made your own bed on that. Same thing here. If she had said, we are not aware of any other documents, we will, again, fully cooperate. We will let you know as soon as documents arise. We will let you know all the information. We do not believe that there are any other documents, but we will certainly continue to thoroughly investigate this and let you know. Okay, you're still probably lying to us, but now we're good. When you make a definitive statement for political purposes or political favor or to gain political favor, and then that is proven factually incorrect, you're a liar.
Right. Yeah, and it's really cringy to watch her lie and deflect and mumble and stumble, make it up as she goes along, ignoring questions. It's not a make it till you fake it situation, because when you have conviction like that, you are asserting that this is the truth. And clearly, it wasn't the truth. And you've obtained some audio, huh?
Yes, this is very exclusive audio by the Kendall and Casey show. I cannot reveal the source by which I did attain this. And we have Corinne Jean-Pierre, just kind of a little montage of her excuses for being as untransparent as possible with the American public.
No, I didn't. Honest. I ran out of gas. I had a flat tire. I didn't have enough money for cab fare. My tux didn't come back from the cleaners. An old friend came in from out of town. Someone stole my car. There was an earthquake. A terrible flood. Locust. It wasn't my fault, I swear to God!
I've been using that audio for 6 years now on this radio station to make fun of politicians, and it keeps working.
It's got legs.
It just stands the test of time because these people just keep getting more pathetic.
Just keeps going. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. More State of the Union coming up.
I won't get what I'm after till the day I die.
Why does We Grow Hair Indy have the best hair transplant results? Because they have the best technology. And I'm living proof of it. This is Rob. I'm out and about in the community for this radio station, and I feel so much better because We Grow Hair Indy has the technology that restored both my hairline and my crown area. And this year, they can restore yours too. Call them right now at 317-522-2995. Here's Darren Andrews to explain.
Having that strong hairline again completely changes the way you see yourself. It makes a huge difference. A lot of people think the crown cannot be transplanted. It's actually an area of specialty for us with our multi-unit hair grafting.
My hair is going to grow the rest of my life. I'm very happy I called We Grow Hair Indy. Call right now for your free evaluation. 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. WeGrowHairIndy.com. The gold standard in hair restoration.
Got a clogged pipe? Who to call is a no-drainer. Get it? Call my friends at Hope Plumbing. They're experts in the industry and trustworthy plumbers who care about the health and safety of your home. During the month of February, Hope is offering a $49 mainline cleaning with a free camera inspection. Stop the gurgling pipes and don't stress over all those tree roots in your yard. Call Hope Plumbing today and schedule your $49 mainline cleaning. Visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
What I love about working at Shane Company is that there's always something new going on. New things to look at, new jewelry for you to try on, new offerings. In addition to our great selection of natural diamonds, we recently brought in lab-grown diamonds. A lab-grown diamond has all the same properties as a natural diamond. It's a real diamond, just as beautiful, and made in a lab. You can't tell the difference. I invite you to come in and see for yourself. At Shane Company, you can compare 2 diamonds side by side and decide what's right for you. We offer the largest selection of natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds. Choose from 10 beautiful shapes and a wide range of sizes, all hand-selected by our diamond experts for quality, beauty, and sparkle. Whether you choose a natural diamond or a lab-grown diamond, you can be sure it'll be absolutely gorgeous. So visit us today. We can't wait to show you what's new.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Discussing birth control, what they have to say, and raising money for a good cause. I'm Sasha Nixon. All of this and more coming up from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
He's about to go to Wisconsin. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Biden taking his message last night on the road.
Because the people of this nation are strong. The State of the Union is strong.
And he said over and over, there's more work to do, calling for unity with Republicans.
We have to see each other not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. We're good people.
Fox's Mark Meredith is at the White House.
Unity is a long ways off. He covered a lot of different topics in this speech, from celebrating investments in infrastructure to reaffirming U.S. support for Ukraine. But one moment certainly stood out as the president accused the GOP of trying to cut entitlement programs like Social Security.
I'm not politely not naming them, but it's being proposed by some of you.
You can hear the boos there. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says there are no plans to cut Social Security or Medicare.
Now, McCarthy also told Fox this morning the president fell short in a call for immigration reform amid a surge of migrants crossing the border illegally.
Every community is now a border community. Fentanyl is now across this nation. And where is it starting and coming from? China, through our border.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, in the official Republican response last night, said the president is unfit for office, hijacked by a woke left mob trying to silence the right.
Every day we are told we must partake in their rituals, salute their flags, and worship their false idols. All while big government colludes with big tech to strip away the most American thing there is. Your freedom of speech.
On Ukraine, the president said last night, we'll stand with them for as long as it takes, while Ukraine's president visits Britain this morning.
We know Russia will lose.
Volodymyr Zelensky asking for even more military aid, wanting the UK, US, and our allies to send him fighter jets, calling them wings for freedom. Crews keep searching earthquake rubble in Turkey and Syria for survivors, but the number of deaths now tops 11,000. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A change to the school. 32 degrees and overcast here on Monument Circle. I'm Sasha Nixon. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Expanding access to birth control. Kurt Darling reports on a bill to do that being considered by state lawmakers.
Right now, only a doctor can prescribe birth control or any contraception drugs to women, but a bill that was looked over in the Public Health Committee of the Indiana House Tuesday would expand that to allow pharmacists to be able to write those prescriptions. Bipartisan supporters of the bill say that it will especially help women in rural areas of the state where access to an OBGYN might be limited. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Because the soul of this nation is strong. Because the backbone of this nation is strong. Because the people of this nation are strong. The State of the Union is strong.
Hoosier leaders have been responding to President Joe Biden's State of the Union address that happened Tuesday evening. Former Vice President and Indiana Governor Mike Pence tweeted examples of Joe Biden's failed leadership at home and abroad. His brother, Congressman Greg Pence, seemed to agree. However, Representative Andre Carson referenced some of the administration's successes, such as the creation of millions of jobs. Prisoners at the Rockville Correctional Facility joined together to raise more than $3,000 for the Susan G. Komen Foundation of Central Indiana. Kim Betcher, recreation leader at Rockville Correctional Facility, tells WIBC how they managed it.
We eventually found Krispy Kreme, and they've really always made the process so seamless, and the incarcerated population really support the cause.
Lori Mitchell, development specialist for Indiana and Kentucky, says the money will go toward research in the new breast care helpline. The average price for gas across the state is $3.22 per gallon, according to GasBuddy.com. I'm Sasha Nixon. On the level,
everybody's
on the
talking
go,
about
and on
regenerative medicine now because people who have joint pain are getting real, lasting relief without drugs or surgery. Tony Katz here. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting treatment. They use highly concentrated healing agents from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. If you have ongoing joint pain from arthritis or injury, you need to call QC Kinetics. Don't assume that steroids and surgery are your only option. Times have changed, and regenerative medicine can get you moving again with no downtime, so stop taking the pain meds and discover this remarkable alternative that pro athletes have been using for years. Thanks to QC Kinetics, this amazing treatment option is now available for people like you and me who are sick and tired of joint pain. Don't put it off any longer. Spring is coming, and you want to enjoy all life has to offer. Call QC Kinetics right now for a totally free consultation with medical professionals in Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and now in Carmel. 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The Republican Party in Indiana sees zero problem in record spending, in record taxation.
And Casey Daniels.
You went out there and said, please vote for me. You debated other people on why you're the better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 8th. It is 5 minutes after 10. His name is Rob Kendall. My name is Casey Daniels, and we're glad you're joining us this morning. So it was one of the top 5 moments during the State of the Union address last night. Imagine that. You worked on it, you wrote it, you practiced the speech. Your political future is hanging on it. You're making a lot of policy announcements, things you want to get done. And all of a sudden, after 80 minutes, all of it takes a back seat to the kiss that your wife gave to another man.
This is it's peak 2023, right? So if you have not seen this photo, there is a photo, I think it was before State of the Union, in which Jill Biden appears to be locking lips with Kamala Harris's husband. Now, who went in? I don't know.
Who went in first?
I mean, I don't know if the one was just thinking they were going to get a peck on the cheek or the other. I don't know, but this is very, very odd, and I would think be very hard to have not at least had one person intending to be going for a lipular area kiss. Given look, I get that accidents can happen, but this is very strange.
Okay, so they grabbed hands and they quickly smiled at each other and then embraced and then kissed.
It's the collective, right? It's not one individual thing. It's the whole. It's where
it was rehearsed.
It's where we know Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to be with Kevin McCarthy.
You're feeling it. You know what it reminded me of? It really reminded me of when William and Kate, the royals, got married and they were on the balcony and everybody was cheering for them to kiss and they kind of looked at each other and, okay, we got to do this. It's what the people want. And they kissed.
Yeah.
A little less awkward than what happened, though, in the box.
Because they're not married, Casey.
Right. Their spouses work together. And how do you think that made their spouses feel?
Well, yeah. And so, again, it's a still image. Who knows what the actual back and forth of it was, but it's very awkward. And this is getting most of the attention rather than the speech. Now, the speech itself, last night, if you did not subject yourself to the speech, congratulations. That's why we are here. I texted Mock last night and I said, man, when you were here, I used to just make you watch these things. And then it was kind of a running bit on our show that I didn't watch these and she would just tell me what happened and I would have no idea. But I would not do that to you, Casey. I did not think that was fair since it's half your show that I should force you to watch the speech by yourself. So I did.
Did she watch it? Did she say I'm watching it now?
Oh, I'm sure she was watching it, but the point is, like, I was watching it because I didn't want you to have to do this on your on your own, and I always feel worse about myself, right? Like when I get done with a Joe Biden speech,
feel like you need a shower.
I feel worse about myself, and the problem was I didn't feel like I could do our template until after the speech was done because I needed to get Sarah Huckabee's. Sarah Sanders' response. I needed, if Biden did something just totally insane, even by Biden standards, we needed to have them there. So I didn't feel like I could really do the template until that was done. So I didn't get done with everything until about 11:30. So it just completely ruined my whole morning and everything else because I was just totally off because I had to stay up for this. So you didn't.
That's the same thing a lot of people are expressing, that the State of the Union address just ruined their night.
Yeah. I just, look, there's, all kidding aside or talking about the kiss or whatever aside, ultimately that doesn't impact your life as an American citizen. The thing that does is the words and the goals of Joe Biden, and the reality is there was nothing in this speech last night that is going to get inflation under control. There was nothing in this speech that's going to make food more affordable. There was nothing in the speech that's going to make gasoline more affordable. And, when we talked to Farmer Ryan a couple days ago about the cost of food, about why things are so expensive, he flat out told us as a farmer whose job it is to get the food to the producers to be able to be turned into something you can consume at the grocery store, it's not getting solved anytime soon, and that's very scary.
Yeah, still dealing with supply chain issues, and of course, the cost of diesel gas, which is what all the farm equipment runs on, is still very high. But that wasn't addressed. Of course, Biden tried to say how great the economy was, and he's going to fix it from the bottom and middle out.
He mentioned something last night. We were talking about this before the show, that he went out of his way to mention defending Roe versus Wade or upholding Roe versus Wade or reinstating Roe versus Wade. I forget the terminology, but basically he said, I'm making priority on-demand abortion. And Casey, you know this because you've been through the giving life process.
Having a baby.
I am going through it now.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden has been through this twice as just two boys, right? Is there one I'm missing? Either way, he has been through it as well. To see your child, see it forming, see it growing, see it developing, and to still, as a person who has parented has brought life to two people and been through that process, to go on national television and say, I will make it a priority to make sure that women can end as many of these lives without debate or discussion or input from the father or whatever as possible. What a sick, disgusting human being.
I don't know what channel you were watching the State of the Union address on, but I watched it on C-SPAN. And the best part to me was when it was over. But also because C-SPAN had microphones on him as he was leaving the chamber, and it took him 20 minutes to leave the chamber, getting lots of handshakes.
Well, you stayed till the very end, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the bitter end.
You are the person at the concert who gets the full experience and wants to watch the roadies start cleaning up the stage. You're that person, aren't you? But that's amazing, because as soon as he said, hi, good night, everybody, you were out of there.
Well, if you watch it on C-SPAN, you could hear all of the comments that were coming to him from people who were shaking his hand as he was leaving the chamber. And somebody mentioned to him something about Beau Biden, because you're talking about that he's a father and he still wants to codify Roe v. Wade. And he mentioned to this person in the crowd, it was Beau's birthday 2 days ago. It was Beau's birthday. And it was a very sentimental moment for him. But yet, here he is talking about abortion and how he wants it legal.
You know, I wish someone would stick an ultrasound, in Joe Biden's face, because you get an ultrasound at 19 weeks, 20 weeks, whatever, and that is a fully freaking formed human. It has a face, it has fingers, it has toes, it has a heart, it has all the stuff. And someone should stick a picture of their ultrasound in his face and go, tell me how that's not a human being, and tell me how that doesn't deserve to live. Every single Democrat who advocates for on-demand abortion should have to answer that question. These people, and to use the State of the Union to advocate for the barbaric slaughter of living entities, human life. We have, I mean, look, inflation's bad, price of gas, food, all that stuff's bad, but we got way bigger problems than that, because we are a society that covets and lusts for death over life.
So he called for bans on assault weapons. He talked about Roe v. Wade. He also talked about the border. He talked about Social Security, and he also tried to get tough on China. And this is where... Was I in trouble? Was I in trouble for watching the State of the Union address? Because I got scolded last night by the president. This is what he said.
America's rallying the world to meet those challenges, from climate to global health, to food insecurity, to terrorism, to territorial aggression. Allies are stepping up, spending more, and doing more. Look, the bridges we're forming between partners in the Pacific and those in the Atlantic.
What's he saying? What's he talking about? Is he say what is? It's just incoherent, nonsensical babbling. And what is the premise? We're not doing enough. We're $31 trillion in debt as a nation, and is the crux of this from this guy? We still are not spending enough.
Yeah, he needs more. Name me one. Name me a leader who's changed places with Xi Jinping. Name me one. Name me one, Rob.
All right, Casey, during the speech, I was momentarily distracted. And I say momentarily, this went on for, several minutes. I had a little run-in with Kev last night, producer Kevin, during the State of the Union. And I'm going to cry party foul on what Kevin did.
You going to call him out?
But I want to get your input on this, because you may be totally okay with what took place. I think something maybe
did Kevin do?
Highly egregious took place, but I'm going to let you be the decider on this.
All right. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Competing visions.
Over the last 2 years, let's look at the results.
President Biden and the Democrats have failed you.
Inflation is coming down. Gas prices are down. Food inflation is coming down.
Biden administration doubling down on crazy.
China threatens our sovereignty.
Defend our skies.
The state of our union is apparently under Chinese surveillance.
And the election is more than a year and a half away.
It's time for a change.
What happens next happens here. 93 WIBC.
Window Nation has the coolest deal ever for keeping you warm. Get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy with 0 down payment, 0 monthly payments, and pay 0 interest for 24 months. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of Window Nation's deep discounts, all while reinvesting in your biggest asset. Not to mention the savings on your energy bills for years to come. Up to 43% of your home utility bill goes to heating and cooling. With Window Nation windows, you can cut those energy bills during these cold winter months by keeping your hot air in and cold air outside.
Go with the window company that has installed over 1 million windows in over 150,000 homes, including mine. All with a 96% customer satisfaction. Call 866-90-NATION to get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy, no limit. Plus, no down payments, no interest for 24 months. Call Window Nation, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Fellas, need an annual health exam for work or just want to start the year prioritizing your health? We recommend Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They check all your levels, not just your testosterone.
It's typically covered by most health insurance, and if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for full labs and an office visit with the provider. Low T Center specializes in men's health, making it quick and easy. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. If I'm going to be at my best, I have to talk out my problems, like really dig in. It's work, but when I'm doing the work, everything clicks. I sleep like I should, exercise, eat right, and I'm generally an all right person to be around. This is why therapy has been so integral in helping me develop healthy mental health. I mean, talking to my therapist just alleviates so much anxiety. If you're thinking about trying therapy out, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient and flexible because everything is online. It's also affordable. Just go to BetterHelp.com, fill out the questionnaire. You'll be matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time at no additional charge. It's really easy, so convenient. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/WIBC today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/WIBC.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Spring Show
offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindieshows.com.
February 10th through 12th at Grand Park in Westfield.
It's the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
See that sign? No shirt, no shoes, no ties.
Right. Learn it. Know it. Live it.
Well, that's life.
That's life.
That's what all the people say.
Good morning. It is 19 minutes after 10.
You're riding high.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Trending this morning, Beyonce. Tickets for her first world tour concert, the Renaissance Tour, has sold out. That was reported by Live Nation. They said it sold out yesterday.
Now, I have not heard the issue with her like others, like Taylor Swift or Bruce Springsteen or whatever.
Ticketmaster problems?
Yeah, I've not heard the skyrocketing prices associated with that. Maybe I missed that, but the fact that it sold out.
In Stockholm, they actually added an extra day because of demand. So maybe she's being a little more accommodating.
Here's my question about the sold out. And Kev, you're in the biz, and we're going to talk about that here in a second.
We'll get to you in just a minute.
It's still pretty easy, though, like to walk up and buy a ticket off the street, right? Like if ticket prices get ridiculous, couldn't you theoretically just milk it to like 30 minutes before the show? Because the scalpers got to unload that ticket or they get stuck with them. That's really the best strategy, right?
A lot of times, even ticket prices will go down quite a bit if you wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
And you can get them online for pretty cheap.
Now, it doesn't give you the comfort of, because part of it is, and you guys know this, the concert going experience is, I want to go there. Maybe we're going to pound a few brews before the show. They're going to hang out with their buddies. We're going to have a little dinner. We're going to get there early. We're going to watch them set up the stage. You can't do that if you're trying to snipe tickets right before the show.
Yeah.
Right.
But you could get a much cheaper ticket.
Possibly. Yeah. Beyonce also is breaking the Grammy record, and she's now the most decorated artist from the Grammys.
Sure she is. Yeah, she's the most decorated. Absolutely. Yeah, no. It's what I think greatest artists of all time. It's like the Beatles. It's, the Rolling Stones. It's Led Zeppelin.
And then Beyonce.
Yeah, it's Springsteen and then Beyonce.
Okay.
They're all just right there. Yeah.
Also trending is a new cereal. And the name of this cereal is incredible. It's called Poop Like a Champion.
It's called what?
Poop Like a Champion.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Lots of fiber in
You
that.
are lying.
Nope. It's Cinnamon Toast. Ultra fiber cereal. New look, same great product, too. It's new and improved. So if you're having issues, seek out Poop Like a Champion cereal.
I think that's good marketing.
They do not sell this at Walmart. Where do they even sell this at?
You can get it at the Poop Like a Champion store.
Oh, okay. So it's like you got to go to a website to get it or whatever. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's keto-friendly, low-carb, gluten-free, and healthy.
Yeah, okay.
And finally trending, it is, let's see, oh boy, Ron Jeremy committed to a mental hospital. This is the skin flick icon, Ron Jeremy.
Uh-huh.
He's been committed to a mental hospital in California after being found incompetent to stand trial.
So he is apparently suffering, or at least the court has said, because they studied him or doctors talked to him or whatever, from a level of dementia. And the reports are saying basically it is so bad that he will likely never recover. He had been allegedly, I think, been charged, et cetera, with various acts of sexual assault. And over his years in the adult entertainment industry. And look, that's
30 charges of rape and sexual misconduct.
Well, and
over a 23-year period.
They had revealed what his living conditions were like when because they searched his apartment, I think, for various things, and he was apparently a severe hoarder, and it was like virtually impossible to maneuver through his apartment. Casey, it is not nearly the glamorous lifestyle that is portrayed.
No, it'll wreak havoc on your brain, and I think that he's proof of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's bad. It's bad news, especially if you're a married dude. Stay off that.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a warning. A message. You've got something that you would like to talk with Kevin about?
Well, yeah. So, Casey, you're going to decide whether this was all above board and I'm just making too big a deal out of this, or if Kev was, committing a party foul last night. So
okay, what do you do?
I'm watching the State of the Union, and just randomly, I would say of the three apps, the one I overwhelmingly use the least between Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram is Instagram. And I get a notification that I've got a direct message on Instagram.
Okay.
And then I see it has come from an account marked uno.gold. Thinking, this is weird. Okay. And so I open it up, and it is a video of Kevin's favorite band, the Viagra Boys. And the lead singer, now I don't know, Casey, if you're familiar with the Viagra Boys, but the lead singer is this like totally out of shape guy with a beer gut who keeps his shirt off on stage the entire time. He is tattooed basically from head to toe.
Wears a cowboy hat.
Yes, it is part of his MO that it is not like seeing Robert Plant circa 1975. This guy's shtick is he's incredibly out of shape, and he wanders around stage with a cowboy hat and sunglasses and a beer gut and his shirt off. And so I responded something funny back to the uno.gold account. And then the uno.gold account responded to me again. And then it dawned on me, I'm frickin' talking to Kevin. And so I texted Kevin and I said,
what are you doing?
Why are you doing this with me on Instagram? Why wouldn't you just text message me? Because you control the uno.gold Instagram account.
Well, yeah, see, I don't see what the big deal is. Because I saw this video that Viagra Boys posted on Instagram. It was of a fan in the front row at their concert handing the front man a shrimp.
But it's fun.
And it's a funny video and everything. But that was on Instagram. So I figured, you would like to see that. So I did a direct message on Instagram and sent it to you.
So rather than go to the text, find the video, attach the video to the text, you just went through Insta.
Yeah, no one does it that way. But then you were saying that it was weird that I sent it from the Uno Gold page and not my personal page.
Because it was like I was having a conversation with the band, when in reality I'm having a conversation with Kevin, and it is as though Kevin has cloaked himself in some sort of secrecy, hiding behind the band. And it dawned on me, like, this is Kevin.
Yeah, but
it's not the band. It's you.
We don't follow each other I don't follow you from my personal account.
I don't want to have anything to do with your personal life and what other heathenistic actions you're out there running around. I want a plausible deniability.
Yeah, work life, personal life, we keep it separate.
That's weird, right? That he was trying to present as though I'm having a direct conversation with a band, when in reality it is Kevin, and I could just have the direct conversation with Kevin.
Were you under the impression at any point in the conversation that it was somebody else from the band?
No, because I know
him.
Kevin controls the account, but it took me a moment to, I was having a conversation with the band, and then I realized, no, I'm having a conversation with Kevin.
Okay, here's the deal. Kevin was working effectively and efficiently.
Yeah.
So you should give him props for that, actually, instead of picking on him. Because had he just texted you, he'd have to go find the video and attach it and then send it. This way, he eliminated steps.
Here's the thing, though, Kev. From this point forward, I'm refusing to have any conversation with the Uno.Gold account directly. If you need to correspond with me, you as Kevin McNamara will correspond with me.
Because you mentioned like Rolling Stones earlier as like a comparison. It would be weird if the Rolling Stones were like messaging
you.
If
Mick Jagger was your buddy, let's say Mick Jagger was your buddy. Okay, you are a producer or whatever in the music business, and you knew Mick Jagger, and then Mick Jagger were on the Rolling Stones, I don't know, I assume they have an Instagram account, direct messaging you, that would be weird.
No, that would be super cool.
But he wouldn't be doing
I would
that.
show everyone.
Because,
oh my gosh, Mick Jagger just DM'd me.
Oh my gosh, I'm having a conversation with the Rolling Stones. No, you're having a conversation with Mick Jagger, who just happens to have the password to the Rolling Stones Instagram account. So, Kevin, the new rule is, if you want to send me Viagra Boy stuff, I think that's great. I'm totally into your music and all the things that you do. You have to do it directly with me. No more banned Instagram DMing.
I don't understand this at all.
Well, it's the rules.
I'll let it go, though.
It's my life, and I'll do what I want.
He makes up rules as he goes along.
Apparently.
Hey, by the way, if you'd like to hear some of Kevin's band's music, you can find that on the Kendall and Casey Spotify playlist. Just look up Kendall & Casey on Spotify. And that's who you're listening to now on 93 WIBC.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A possible change in access. 32 degrees and overcast here on Monument Circle. I'm Sasha Nixon. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Expanding access to birth control. Kurt Darling reports on a bill to do that being considered by state lawmakers.
Right now, only a doctor can prescribe birth control or any contraception drugs to women, but a bill that was looked over in the Public Health Committee of the Indiana House Tuesday would expand that to allow pharmacists to be able to write those prescriptions. Bipartisan supporters of the bill say that it will especially help women in rural areas of the state where access to an OBGYN might be limited. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price for gas across the state is $3.22 per gallon, according to GasBuddy.com. That's below the national average of $3.45. I'm Sasha Nixon, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
From the thrilling action on the court to the pure energy in the crowd, the excitement is real inside Gamebridge Fieldhouse this season.
Turner, the rebound, puts it in! A 40-point night for Miles Turner.
A team that never quits and a crowd that never sits.
Nembhard shoots it again. Count it again.
Together, we are revved up.
Your Indiana Pacers look to cool down the Phoenix Suns on Friday at 7. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers Suns, Friday at 7.
Theme weeks, family nights, live a dream trips, and more. Whether you're looking for a short-term rehabilitation stay or want to downsize with our independent living apartments, you'll find there's always something to celebrate at a Trilogy Senior Living community. Trilogy is proud to take care of seniors' day-to-day hassles so they can enjoy life with friends, family, and a staff committed to exceeding their expectations every day. Visit us today at www.trilogyhs.com/live to find out why Trilogy is where family comes to live.
If you're looking to maintain or add a new fireplace or stove in your home, there's only one place to call. That's Chimney Solutions. Chimney Solutions provides the best fireplaces from the most trusted and reliable brand names in the industry. Add ambiance and warmth to your home now. The government is even providing a 30% tax credit from purchase and installation up to $2,000. Call Chimney Solutions today at 317-757-6979. Online at chimneyindy.com. That's Chimney Solutions.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. While starting my first of 5 successful businesses, I foolishly did my own accounting. I stuck the more difficult tax forms in a drawer for later, which caused the tax man to cometh. That little mistake took an entire team of accountants weeks to prevent the tax man from clubbing me. Moral of this story? Use Patriot's accounting software because it's easy, and tell your accountant to use the same accountant you use. Then, if the tax man cometh, you'll be the one holding the club. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
PatriotSoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. It is 10:33. Okay, so there was a bill that passed the Senate. What was the bill number?
Okay, so yes, and we will get back to voicemails tomorrow. We just had so much going on with the State of the Union and having to cover that. And so if you call, the voicemail line is 317-684-8444. This is normally when we do the voicemails. We will return to those tomorrow, 317-684-8444. So Indy Star has the article here, and we talk a lot on this show, Casey, about the priorities or lack thereof of the Indiana Republican Party. Mm-hmm. And we get all the time, well, why are you so mean to Republicans? Because they control everything. The Democrats are irrelevant in this conversation. Like the Democrat Party in Indiana is a complete joke and is of no threat to anyone, and they have so radicalized themselves to the left that they can't win elections. So Republicans in Indiana have supermajorities in the House, in the Senate, the governor's office, and all statewide offices. So there's nothing to talk about with the Democrats. They can't do anything because they're not in charge of anything. But yesterday was another example of what we talk about on the show all the time, of the Indiana Republican Party not giving two craps about you and looking for ways to cater to people who will not vote for them. And this is when we talk about the danger of you simply giving your vote away because someone has a meaningless letter next to their name. And the Republicans have figured this out. This is why the angry red-shirted teachers get the, what's the glove? What's the glove treatment? The white glove treatment. Mm-hmm. I think that was what I was looking for. Thank you.
White glove or kid glove.
Kid glove, yeah, whatever. Because they know that you, the conservative, are so afraid of the Democrat that you will vote for these Republicans no matter what. It is how an unqualified goof like Diego Morales gets 54% of the vote, because they know you're so afraid of on-demand abortion advocate Destiny Wells that you're going to vote for him no matter what. And here's the danger, and yesterday proved it. We have a colossal crisis when it comes to property taxes in the state. There's no disputing it's happening. There's no disputing what has happened with the assessments. There's no disputing now what's happening with the property taxes and how they're going up. Yet yesterday, Casey, the Indiana Senate spent their time not focused on figuring out how old people and people on fixed incomes and the middle class are going to be able to afford to stay in their homes because of skyrocketing property taxes due to the highly flawed system that the Republican Party has set up and repeatedly endorsed in the state. No, they didn't spend their time on that. Yesterday, the Senate, which is controlled with supermajorities by the Republicans, passed a bill out of committee that would allow people illegally in this country to be able to get driving privileges in the state of Indiana.
Okay, so this is Senate Bill 248, and the bill will allow people living in Indiana without citizenship documentation to get a driver's license. This has been filed year after year. It's never gotten a hearing until yesterday. They had 2 hours of testimony, and by a vote of 5-4, they launched it over its first hurdle.
So the Republican Party's stance now, because again, we've heard one bill get a hearing that relates to property taxes, and that bill, authored by Jeff Thompson, would give you basically $100, maybe a little more depending on where you live and what the tax rate is where you live, but would give you basically $100 of the $400, $500, $600 extra you're going to have to pay, or many people are going to have to pay because of the really crummy system that the Republicans have set up. That's basically the only bill of substance that has had a hearing and it's passed out of, or it hasn't even passed out of committee yet, but has had a hearing of some sort. That's all you get if you're a law-abiding, tax-paying, hardworking citizen. Yeah, maybe, we haven't even, as far as I know, had a vote on that yet, but maybe you'll get like $100 of the $400, $500, $600, $700. Some people it'll be $1,000 we're going to take from you. That's all you get if you're doing things the right way. But if you're an illegal immigrant, no, we're focused on ensuring that you get a driver's license and driving privileges in the state of Indiana. That's the priority of the Indiana Republican Party. The lunatic, radical left, angry red-shirted teacher public education agenda and making sure illegals get driver's licenses. But if you're a law-abiding citizen, kiss our ass.
Okay, so the authors of the bill say that they want people to be able to drive safely on the roads to get to their jobs. That's why they're doing this.
Get safely to their jobs? Casey, they're in the country illegally. I thought the job of the Republican Party, I thought they were the people who cared about the border. I thought they were the people who cared about securing this nation. That's what I hear over and over and over and over again. We are the party of legal immigration. If you know someone is in the country illegally, why are you not sending them back where they came from? Why are you concerned about them getting to a job that they are taking from a legal citizen in this country? And even if they aren't taking the job, they're in the country illegally.
Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
People should be so livid over this, that this is what the Republican Party in Indiana is spending their time on, making sure that illegal immigrants get privileges rather than taking care of you and your family and making sure you can afford to live in your house.
That's Senate Bill 248, by the way. Let's talk about what's going on with the TV industry. So it's in the middle of change, no doubt about that, right? Legacy cable TV, it's bleeding millions of subscribers each year, streaming taking a larger and larger role in our consumption of media. But then you also have things like podcasts and TikTok even, and just different platforms. So what is the future of traditional television? Some people are saying it's dying.
Yeah. Well, I think it's harmful, and you will appreciate this because you have been in management in radio throughout much of your career. Now you get the privilege of working with me. How'd it end for you? Well, I was working with Rob Kendall. But you will appreciate this, that the radio industry really failed years ago, and I'm talking 20-ish years ago, when HD radio became the technology for what is now known as HD radio became a thing. And instead of harnessing that, the radio industry harnessing that as a collective and saying, we are leading this new frontier, we are all going to push the football together on HD radio, they fought over how to distribute it, who would get it, how the licenses would be put out, etc. And in that time, satellite radio took hold and had a dominant footprint in the radio industry, which really harmed terrestrial radio. And terrestrial radio, other than fabulous local stations such as this one, has really struggled to recover from that. Obviously, now they're streaming, et cetera, has become a thing. But really, the original death knell was when they had HD radio, and instead of harnessing, an industry view on this and getting it out there before satellite, et cetera. The same thing is true here with television, where cable TV had a real opportunity years ago to say, we are going to start offering an a la carte menu. Like for someone like me, there's probably 10 channels that I would consistently watch. Okay, we want to allow Rob Kendall to be able to order these 10 channels. Yes, you will pay more for the 10 channels, but your bill will still be cheaper than collective cable. I would be all on board with that. But what they force you to do is purchase 9 home shopping network channels that you're never going to watch.
That you don't want.
And pay a colossal premium for that. And so people like me said, okay, it is still cheaper for me to purchase 2 or 3 streaming options than it is to have a cable package, and I will get just as much enjoyment for the most part other than live sporting events. And in my case, my dad is my neighbor, so I can just go over there.
Right.
And so I really feel like television is now in the same position radio was, where they had opportunities and they missed that opportunity, and now the industry's in big trouble.
So Saturday night, I was on my way back from the Terre Haute area, and I was listening to a radio station. It was a country station, and they had a disc jockey on, and I thought, hey, you know what? I should call and request a song. And the dude said to me, good one, there's nobody live in the studio. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's right. There probably is nobody live in the studio. And that's happening to radio stations across the country. And it has been for a long time. Ever since automation came, everybody said, oh, it's the death of the disc jockey, which played out and became true because you're able to record stuff and automate it. And half the time, the radio station, your favorite, other than this one, you may be listening to, there's nobody actually there. Half of the radio stations are not even run by people in that market anymore. Some of them here in Indianapolis.
Right.
I won't call them out, though. But with TV, these executives are saying that budgets are getting cut, scripted programming is going away, there's going to be much more repeats. It's going to continue to exist, but it will be a lesser product than what you're used to, what you've experienced over the years. And we know now live sports and live local news, that is the only thing that is going to save local television because those are can't miss programs. Everything else is streaming or you can get it on demand.
Yeah, and so here is, and we'll get off this because I know we got Hammer coming up next, but here is the big domino that I think is about to drop, and if it does, we are going to be in uncharted territory, and that is Bally Sports. And Bally Sports is
it's a big NFL deal, right?
Well, Major League Baseball.
Okay.
The NFL has a national television deal. So you got to watch CBS, you got to watch Fox on Sunday nights NBC, Mondays is ESPN, and Thursdays is now Amazon Prime.
And that's the can't miss.
But baseball has regional TV deals. So every team has its own television deal. And the National Basketball Association is very similar as well. And Bally Sports is big in local regional sports broadcasting. The company that owns them is called Diamond Sports, which is owned by Sinclair. So it's like any other large corporation. There's a company within a company within a company. And Bally's is preparing for bankruptcy. And now because Bally's is so into, especially baseball and I believe basketball, they have multi-billion-dollar, in some cases, television deals with these local sports teams who don't have a national umbrella, that if Bally Sports goes under, declares bankruptcy, can't pay these TV rights deals, you may see now, like Major League Baseball and the National Basketball Association specifically, go to an NFL-type model or a streaming model that completely removes those sports from cable television. And if professional sports is removed from cable TV, that very likely could be the end of cable television as we know it.
Yeah, because people are going to get it on their Amazon or wherever, their Hulu, wherever else it's available. Yep. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, and Hammer is up next.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. We will recap the State of the Union. Tommy Lahren will join us, 93 WIBC.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday morning at 8. Learn the answers to frequently asked financial questions and get the latest investment news to help you get the most of your money. Visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
Hey, good morning. It's Casey. And let's talk about your retirement dream, right? You had plans to sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, travel, maybe go see the grandkids. But inflation and the recession has you wondering if all of your hard-earned equity is still going to be there. Well, here's a question. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in the home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all of your property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do with whatever you'd like. So take that trip. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. It's the smarter, fastest way to cash out your home's value without having to move. It's TrueHold.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
Hey, JMV here for the absolute best in plumbing. That's Lance and his local team at L.D. Smith Plumbing. The only plumber in Indy to call. They're your hero because Lance and his local team will take care of you. Any plumbing issue and especially plumbing emergencies. Clogged drains, leaky faucets, water heaters. They do it all. The absolute best and especially with your plumbing emergencies. Lance and his local team with L.D. Smith Plumbing. Check them out online today, ldsmithplumbing.com.
Does runaway inflation and reckless spending in Washington have you worried about the security of your hard-earned retirement savings? If so, it's time to call the precious metals experts at Fisher Capital. Fisher Capital specializes in helping investors like you diversify their retirement portfolio and preserve wealth with physical gold and silver. Whether you're looking to acquire coins or bars, open a gold IRA, or just want to learn more about the advantages of owning precious metals, Fisher Capital will equip you with the knowledge to make an informed decision that's right for you and your family. Call Fisher Capital today at 800-376-4333. That's 800-376-4333. Mention WIBC when you call to get a free no-obligation investor kit. 800-376-4333. 800-376-4333. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Don't lose another night's sleep worrying about the security of your retirement savings. Call Fisher Capital. 800-376-4333.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-970-3355. That's 800-970-3355.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Valentine's gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel.
Baseball. Basketball.
Good morning. It is 10 minutes in front of 11. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Hammer joins us in the studio,
All
and
right,
you brought gifts.
Hold on. Before we get to the gifts here,
Yeah.
I'll play ball. I know it's always ratings death when you talk about the bumper music, but what the hell is this?
Yeah, Kevin, tell everyone what this is.
This is my favorite band at the moment, Viagra Boys.
So Casey, let's talk about these shirts.
Let's talk about sports.
This song's called Sports. I thought you would like it.
Okay, so you brought in some
You
presents.
thought I would like this.
I thought you would love it.
Okay.
You ever get a gift for someone that you really wanted and you're like, I thought you'd love it.
If you don't want it, I'll take it.
Right. I was thinking of you.
I used to do that for my grandparents every year where I would buy them a box of baseball cards. Well, you don't want it? There's a lot of effort that goes into that, Grandpa. I'll take it.
A box of baseball cards. You don't want these Transformers? Well, I guess I'll take them.
Barbie wanted some new clothes.
We got some new clothes in here, courtesy of our friends.
Yeah, show
this
that
is
up.
awesome.
Show that off there, Casey.
Yeah, it's
What
neat.
is that? What is it? What do we got?
Courtesy of the fine folks at the IMPD Mounted Patrol.
This is going to make the left really angry that we're promoting the police here on this show.
These are the heroes to get on the horses
Yeah, I love
and
that.
Patrol through the streets of
They
Indianapolis.
let you know they have the ride-along program in the cars. You think you get on a horse with someone?
Nigel and I talked about this. We want to get on one of these horses with one of the trained mounted patrol experts and do the recreation of the Three Amigos photo shoot.
How'd you get these shirts?
Nigel and I had a little breakfast with the Mounted Patrol folks this morning, and just an awesome group of people. Love IBC, Hammer and Nigel show, and they said, hey, we got some shirts here. Make sure, you guys are taken care of.
That's awesome. Thank you.
No one hit the bingo last night on the Hammer and Nigel bingo card, I don't think.
No, they did not. I was really disappointed we didn't get the deer and Kevlar vest joke.
You were cheering for that in our group text last night.
I think this is the only speech he hasn't told that joke in. But we watched it all last night. Then I stayed up to watch the response from Sarah Sanders. And I heard you guys talking about that earlier today. Mm-hmm. I liked it. It was just too long. Sarah Sanders' part.
Yeah.
What I liked, she got out there right away. But then it went on and on, and it was already late. I watched this old man go up there and go through the motions for about an hour and a half, and then it took about 25 minutes for Sarah Sanders to get the cue, and she went on for felt like 15 minutes, and whew.
What'd you think about Biden right when he started looking at McCarthy saying, it's okay to smile. You can smile. We're going to work together. I won't ruin your reputation.
My response would be, it's okay not to fall up the stairs to Air Force One, but sometimes you can't always get what you want.
Hey, speaking of people we may not care for, LeBron James broke the scoring record last night.
He did, and I was already up, so I decided to turn on TNT because this was the West Coast Lakers game. And I turned it on, and he was like 10 points away. So I just wrote it out, watched him break the record. It was a fadeaway shot in late stages of the third quarter, and he's passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for all-time points in the NBA.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be enamored with this or him or whatever, but I know he hates me as a conservative and liberty-loving person, so I don't care about this at all, and I'm not going to give him any accolades. Am I a bad person?
No, you're not a bad person, because if you think about some of the things LeBron has said in the past, he told basically the entire state of Ohio who voted for Trump in 2016, this is back when LeBron was on the Cavs, you wasn't educated. I think people wasn't educated was the response from the Akron high school grad.
Well, then remember he went after that guy who was an MIT grad, didn't he? Daryl Morey?
So when Daryl Morey was an executive with the Houston Rockets, and again, he's got 2 degrees, one from Northwestern, one from MIT, and
It's not Ivy Tech, and I can say because I went to Ivy Tech.
Morey was criticizing China for some of their human rights violations, and LeBron said he wasn't educated. The Akron High School product said the MIT and Northwestern guy wasn't educated.
The Hammer and Nigel show is educated, and what are we going to be educated with this afternoon?
Casey Daniels will come by.
Blows that theory apart.
Kennett will come by, and Tommy Lahren brings the heat.
Thanks, Hammer. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
You don't have to live in Indiana too long to know that winter means cold. Crazy cold. And winter can be hard on the siding of your home. You got to make sure your siding doesn't have any cracks or breaks, because those cracks can cause leaks and water damage can cost you a lot of money. Do not be worried. Moss Roofing is here to help. From inspections to full replacements, they have plans to fit any budget. Just ask about their payment options. Moss Roofing uses James Hardy siding. It's low maintenance, comes painted, and you get money back when you sell your home because it increases the value of your home. If you're in need of siding help, Moss Roofing is the contractor for you. Contact Moss Roofing at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your complete health assessment at Low T Center. They now offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month cash pay or covered by most health insurance.
If you don't live near a Low T Center or just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy to get started on treatments. Only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and it's the time of year when it's really hard not to track in slush and dirt into the home. And between the kids, the dogs, and even ourselves just coming and going, the floors and carpets could really use some help. Zero Res is my go-to team for cleaning carpets, hardwood floors, ceramic tile and grout, and even area rugs to give them that smart, lasting clean. I call them because no one can clean like Zero Res, because only Zero Res cleans with patented electrolyzed water. No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals. That proprietary technology cleans your carpets without flooding the carpet padding. The patented ZR water technology cleans surfaces without the use of detergents or harsh chemicals because the water itself attracts the dirt, and it does it quickly and efficiently to leave that carpet soft and fluffy, and they stay cleaner longer. They have over 3,000 Google reviews with 4.95 out of 5-star rating. And right now, when you mention WIBC, you get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $139. Call 388-5141 or schedule your appointment at ZeroResIndy.com.
For the first time, Diamonds Direct is offering an extra 25% off all of their Diamond Classics collection. 25% off diamond stud earrings, 25% off diamond tennis bracelets, and 25% off diamond pendants and more. It's true. This Valentine's Day, Diamonds Direct lets you take a full 25% off all these must-have jewelry box staples. Diamond Classics are like a little black dress. It's jewelry that never goes out of style and something you can wear every day, whether it's just running errands or going out on the town. A nice pair of diamond stud earrings goes with anything and everything. And now through Valentine's Day, you can take an extra 25% off. It's our best value ever offered on these popular gifts. Don't miss this sparkling new Valentine's event. Visit DiamondsDirect.com to view the Diamond Classics collection. Learn about designer trunk shows offering an expanded selection and apply for zero-interest financing options up to 3 full years. Celebrate your love and save like never before at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
A Valentine's gift that is more alluring than lingerie? Naturally nude pajamas from Pajamagram.com.
Order naturally nude pajamas today and use the code RADIO to get free deluxe packaging. Available exclusively at Pajamagram.com.
Focus on what you can control by designing your retirement plan. Howard Bailey can help. Call 317-852-9153 to get started. Investment advice offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Discussing birth control, an athletic victory, and facing a possible delay. I'm Sasha Nixon. All of that and more are coming up from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios after Fox News. It's currently 38 degrees. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
He's taking his State of the Union message on the road. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Biden now flying to Wisconsin.
We have more to do. But here at home, inflation is coming down.
In Madison, Wisconsin, President Biden will visit a union training center to focus on an economic plan he says is part of a blue-collar blueprint to strengthen the middle class.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. Now, House Republicans are holding a hearing into what Twitter did to block the spread online of the story that broke weeks before the 2020 election on Hunter Biden's laptop and potentially incriminating info on it.
Twitter's previous management team deplatformed and suppressed not just conservative voices, but anyone whose opinion strayed from what they deemed acceptable.
Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Ex-Twitter executive Yoel Roth just testified.
I've been clear that in my judgment at the time, Twitter should not have taken action to block the New York Post's reporting.
But he says hindsight's 20/20.
I believe Twitter erred in this case because we wanted to avoid repeating the mistakes of 2016.
There's over 11,000 dead in the earthquake disaster in Turkey and Syria now, and the search for survivors goes on. Fox's Greg Palcott standing in front of a collapsed Turkish building where crews keep clearing rubble.
Using picks, shovels, using their hands to get rid of this because they believe that there could be 1, 2, 3, possibly more people alive underneath that rubble right now because they've dropped microphones down through holes and they've heard voices. They've heard tapping.
In a few hours in court in Texas, an accused killer will admit he's a mass murderer, ready to plead guilty in the 2019 massacre of 23 people in a Walmart in El Paso.
Patrick Crucius is charged by U.S. prosecutors with gun and hate crimes and is facing a life sentence. Crucius is accused of targeting Mexicans to kill. He's also facing murder charges filed in a Texas state court, where a conviction could send him to death row.
That's Evan Brown. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A possible change in access. 38 degrees and cloudy here on Monument Circle. I'm Sasha Nixon. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Expanding access to birth control. Kurt Darling has more on a bill to do that being considered by state lawmakers.
Right now, only a doctor can prescribe birth control or any contraception drugs to women, but a bill that was looked over in the Public Health Committee of the Indiana House Tuesday would expand that to allow pharmacists to be able to write those prescriptions. Bipartisan supporters of the bill say that it will especially help women in rural areas of the state where access to an OBGYN might be limited. Kurt Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Hoosier men's basketball team led by as many as 14 points against Rutgers Tuesday night, but Rutgers came back and tied it before Indiana held them off 66-60. After the win, Hoosier head coach Mike Woodson said,
"Tonight was another team effort. Thought everybody that played helped gut this game out. That team plays hard, man."
The Hoosiers are tied for second now in the Big Ten standings. Their next game is against Michigan this Saturday night at 6 Eastern. Pre-game coverage starts at 5 right here on 93 WIBC.
Because the soul of this nation is strong, because the backbone of this nation is strong, because the people of this nation are strong, the State of the Union is strong.
President Biden delivered his second State of the Union address Tuesday evening, and since then, Hoosier leaders have been responding to the speech. Former Vice President and Indiana Governor Mike Pence tweeted examples of Joe Biden's failed leadership at home and abroad. His brother, Congressman Greg Pence, seemed to agree. However, Representative Andre Carson referenced some of the administration's successes, such as the creation of millions of jobs. I'm Sasha Nixon, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey. I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code DANCE at checkout. That's harrys.com, code DANCE. Enjoy.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's lab-grown or mined diamond store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The Republican Party in Indiana sees zero problem in record spending, in record taxation.
And Casey Daniels.
You went out there and said, please vote for me. You debated other people on why you're the better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 8th. It is 6 minutes after 11, and you're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So we had the State of the Union address last night. Did you stay up really late, watch the whole thing? I did.
Why?
For this program.
So I just wanted people to know how much you love them.
So some of the speechwriters were rating the speech, the content, the delivery, all of it. It was Biden's second State of the Union address, and the grades that he was given range from A to nearly failing D. So his speech focused on economic plans. He was touting his infrastructure bill. Pete Buttigieg got the nod quite a few times. He also talked about job growth. He claimed that he wanted to restore unity, even though he was talking about extreme Republicans, but whatever, we'll unify on our own. He said that he wants to work with Congress in a bipartisan manner. Of course he does, because Kevin McCarthy gave him everything he wants. However, Republicans were taking issue on parts of his speech, mostly where he said that Republicans want to cut Medicare and Social Security programs.
But, okay, so...
Which turned out not to be true.
Okay, so let's, real quick, Kevin, I know I'm going to hit you with this. The Kevin McCarthy audio that we played earlier, can we just play about the first 10 seconds of that? Because I need to talk about how this goes into Biden's speech and how horrific Kevin McCarthy is and how awful the Republicans are and how they've emboldened Joe Biden. Okay, let's go.
Cuts to Medicare and Social Security, they are off the table. Defaulting on our debt is not an option.
Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. So the speech at multiple times, so that Kevin McCarthy gave this announcement before the speech.
Right.
Okay. So during the speech, multiple times, Joe Biden used this as a way to essentially take shots at the conservative wing of the Republican Party, in which he's basically was saying, well, we're never going to let this happen, and I guess now it's not going to happen, trying to say as though, well, Kevin McCarthy wanted it to happen, but he bended to such pressure because it's so unpopular from the public that even Kevin McCarthy won't go along with you radical lunatic conservatives. When the reality is, Kevin McCarthy not only gave Joe Biden just free shots at the Republican Party, which is stupid, but from a negotiating standpoint, he has now taken the card that he had on both cards he had on the table, which was the debt, right? Biden has said we will not default on the national debt. You took that off the table, and you needed to use that card if you are an honest intellectual broker with the American people. You needed to use that card to get meaningful entitlement reform, because that year in and year out is a crippling, it is just a devastating amount of money that we are spending in this country that there is no way to sustain it, because there are every day more people using the service, using the program, than those who are contributing. So if you're an honest intellectual broker with the American people, you need to come out as Kevin McCarthy and say, we were elected to solve inflation. We were elected to solve record out-of-control runaway government spending, and we will use every tool in our toolbox up to and including we will allow this nation to default on its debt if we have to show Joe Biden we are serious. It's all been taken off the table now. Kevin McCarthy has said we will not do anything meaningful on entitlement reform, which means we will not do anything meaningful on spending. And we're not going to do anything at all, really, because we've told Biden we're not going to let the nation default on the debt.
I did feel, I don't want to say the word's not sorry for Kevin McCarthy, but I thought he did a good job at not showing his emotion. Unlike Kamala, who was up and down constantly for every applause. But McCarthy sat there and he was kind of expressionless for most of the speech, except for the few times when he was shushing members of Congress when they were shouting out. At one point, somebody said, Biden was talking about fentanyl, and somebody yelled out, "It's coming from China, it's your fault." And McCarthy shushed him. And Marjorie Taylor Greene shouted out, "Liar," at one point, and she got the daggers, the evil eye from McCarthy. It was almost like a very parental position, like, sit up straight.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Don't be disruptive in class, is what it felt like from him.
We should not be surprised about what we heard from Joe Biden. No one should be surprised at anything Joe Biden said last night. You can be disappointed in it. You can be upset by it. You can recognize, rightfully so, that his plans for the country, as they've been throughout his entire presidency, are and will be disastrous. But where your attention should be, because if you're not surprised by something, right? Joe Biden has not told me he was going to be better than. This is why I am the way I am with the Republicans, because the Democrats don't lie to me. I know. Well,
wait a minute.
No, wait, Casey.
I'm going to call you on that one.
Wait, Casey. What I'm saying is I know what they are.
Okay.
I know what Bernie Sanders is. Bernie Sanders is a far more intellectually honest broker than Kevin McCarthy is. So in a weird way, I have more respect for Bernie Sanders because I know what Bernie Sanders wants to do. Now, is Joe Biden lying to me about the condition of the country? Yes.
Yeah.
But he's not lying to me about what he wants to do and what he will continue to do if he is elected. Kevin McCarthy, and it didn't even take him a month, lied to me. I knew he was going to lie to me, which is why I was so adamant that people like Jim Banks not vote for him 15 consecutive times, because I know what he is. But the Republicans keep lying to me and telling me this time it'll be different. This time we're going to get the spending under control. There's no way, because we all know the Republicans will not touch the military. We all know there's no way they're going to get spending under control, because the three things that'll solve it, Medicare, Social Security, and the U.S. military, collectively are the three biggest things you could take bites out of that would actually start solving federal spending. They're not going to touch. They've lied to me again.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden is using it to his advantage.
It's off the table. Well, let's talk about some of the foreign policy, okay? So hanging over Biden's speech was obviously the Chinese spy balloon. And he didn't talk about it. And actually, I was kind of surprised about how little he did talk about China. But his grade for the speech, some people said he was going through the motions. Others said he was sleepy. Clearly, he was mumbling. Somebody said he was the only adult in the room. Others were calling him a liar. Of course, he kept touting how great the economy was. He said, as I stand here tonight, we've created a record 12 million new jobs, more jobs created in 2 years than any president has ever created in 4 years. Well, yeah, that's because they were all lost during COVID.
Let me go back to Kevin. I want to bring you in here on this because you are the person who's going to be most affected by what the Republicans are doing right now. Are you angry that I mean, simple math tells us the fund is running out of money because there are more people using the service than people paying, right? That's like simple basic math, that this thing will run out eventually. You are young enough that at best in 35-ish years you would until you would be able to get this service. So you know it in its current form is not going to exist. Mm-hmm. Are you mad that people are lying to you about the program because you are being forced to pay into it, right? Mm-hmm. Every check you get, you pay into this. Would you rather have someone come to you and say, "Look, dude, this sucks for you. You're going to get screwed on this because you paid a lot into this. But we've got to make some changes to this so that you can have it in some capacity, or you can do with your money as you please." Or do you want to continue to be lied to and hugged and said, it's going to be fine? What do you want? What do young people want? Do they want to be lied to, or do they want people to actually do their damn job and be honest with them?
I would choose honesty.
Like right now, if someone told you, Kevin, you have put however many thousands of dollars throughout your working career into this fund, you will not get that, but you now have the option to opt out of it and you can do with your money as you see going forward. Would you take that deal right now?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'd take
How
that
hard
deal.
was that, Casey?
I'd take that deal right
and
now.
you're much closer than he is.
Yes.
I'd take that deal right now.
Yeah.
Everyone in this room would. Mm-hmm. Because in an intellectually honest conversation amongst adults, we should be able to say there are immense flaws in Social Security and Medicare. And they're not going to be here because math tells us they won't be around. We're not talking about taking it from grandma and grandpa. We're not talking about taking it from the people that are there now. Mm-hmm. But if you are not on the thing now, let's have an adult conversation about what's going on and allow you to make the best choice. But you even try to do that, and you just get slaughtered. And the Republicans, once again, are not strong enough human beings to say we're going to do what's right for the American people.
So both Pelosi's were acknowledged last night during the speech. Biden called Nancy probably the greatest speaker of the House ever. And then Paul Pelosi was acknowledged in part of the extremist attack. And Pelosi afterwards, Nancy Pelosi, said that Biden is a president of great judgment.
He made it clear we have much more to get done. We didn't finish our job, but we really went down the path in a way that demonstrated that he's a president with great judgment. Sometimes that judgment comes with age.
And he's got a lot of age there, 80 years old. It is 60 minutes after 11. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
When you wake up,
State police are looking into why an officer
when you work,
must deal with the debt limit.
when you drive home,
were alerted by a canine that drugs
traffic when you need it,
It's going to get brutal out there.
and updates all the time. Mornings with Tony Katz.
Never dawned on me. Wait a second.
Middays with Kendall and Casey.
Some of that is true.
Are you paying your hard-earned money?
Afternoons with Hammer and Nigel.
Was this just the excuse? That's a fireable offense.
93 WIBC.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Why does We Grow Hair Indy have the best hair transplant results? Because they have the best technology. And I'm living proof of it. This is Rob. I'm out and about in the community for this radio station, and I feel so much better because We Grow Hair Indy has the technology that restored both my hairline and my crown area. And this year, they can restore yours too. Call them right now at 317-522-2995. Here's Darren Andrews to explain.
Having that strong hairline again completely changes the way you see yourself. It makes a huge difference. A lot of people think the crown cannot be transplanted. It's actually an area of specialty for us with our multi-unit hair grafting.
My hair is going to grow the rest of my life. I'm very happy I called We Grow Hair Indy. Call right now for your free evaluation. 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. WeGrowHairIndy.com. The gold standard in hair restoration.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204. Online at CordellCordell.com.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Spring Show
offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindieshows.com.
February 10th through 12th at Grand Park in Westfield.
It's the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Mr. Bellin, will you take the ceremonial shovel?
Thank you.
And dig into the symbolic dirt.
I hereby dedicate this building to myself.
Symbolic dirt is always my favorite.
It is 19 minutes after 11. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Should we look at some trending stories? You want to talk about Tulsi Gabbard first?
We do trending stories.
Okay, Madonna trending this morning. She's fired back at comments over her Grammy appearance. She's blaming the long lens camera for distorting and changing her face. She said, once again, I'm caught in the glare of ageism and misogyny.
Well, I can understand this because, of course, we're on the YouTube chat or the YouTube channel there. You can just type Kendall and Casey and see us. And I understand how a long lens can really distort your appearance because I actually look much like Brad Pitt. And unfortunately, I'm just not, don't look like that on the YouTube chat.
Be nice. You're talking about the man I love. She did have what appears to have been a lot of plastic surgery or fillers.
Appears?
Put in place, allegedly 64 years old. And many people saying it was kind of a Kermit the Frog moment. Also trending this morning, a Beach Grove man was busted with 15 pounds of pot and edibles that were legally bought in Michigan.
Oh.
However, they were transported across state lines and into Indiana.
So it's just too bad, one, this guy couldn't have waited till Friday night, so I could have seen it on Patrol Live. Maybe I think they filmed throughout the week, so maybe they got that. Very shocking. Someone from Beech Grove would be involved in this sort of behavior. And then you and I and Kev got into a conversation. I'm not going to out anybody on who's done what in their spare time, but one of us in this room has never smoked marijuana, and they can raise their hand on the YouTube chat.
I never inhaled.
But we were talking about how stupid you have to be if you have an illegal substance on your person and you are a motorist on the roadways, how stupid you have to be to do anything that would possibly draw attention to yourself, because you know they're going to catch that as soon as they pull you over. So, like, it's usually speeding, or there's a tail light out, or,
or in the case of cannabis, maybe going below the speed limit. You're going too slow.
Well, typically, if you've got 15 pounds of something, Casey, you're usually not a consumer of that so much as you are a distributor. I mean, that's not always the case. But, I mean, look, and we all are adults here, so I think we all live in the world of that, because basically every state around us has in some form of legalized marijuana possession. Now, it varies from state to state, that there are many people who do travel to other states to purchase said product, which is why it is so stupid that we don't have it here. Because think about this. So this guy goes to Michigan and he purchases 15 pounds legally, right? Like it's some black market. He walks right in a store and bought it.
Right.
But because you cross over some line that was put in place hundreds of years ago based on this is Michigan and this is Indiana, well, now you're a known felon and you must be dealt with swiftly and severely, but you purchased it legally just, a mile away.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Michigan versus Illinois is that if you go to Illinois to purchase a product and you have to show your ID, you have to show your state ID, Illinois will charge an extra tax for being out of state, whereas Michigan doesn't do that. So this guy knew what he was doing. Right.
The marijuana law of prohibition in this state, which is led by the governor, and we've talked about this many times, is a level of ridiculous that the remaining 37 minutes we have left on this radio show, I cannot even begin. Like, I could be here till the end of Tony Katz's show, and we would still be talking about how utterly pathetic it is that our governor allows people with serious medical conditions to not be able to get the relief that would in many cases really help them, and most importantly keep them off very dangerous opioids. That the governor and the state legislature said this. First of all, the legislature is pathetic because they allow Holcomb to be the tough guy on this because they can override a veto, and they do it all the time. But their excuse is, well, it's Holcomb, so we'll operate from that standpoint. That Holcomb single-handedly is forcing people to suffer. It is so gross.
He says that, they're still doing research on it.
Isn't that amazing, Casey, that when it comes to like spending $60 million on trails, or the textbook ferry giving away free textbooks to everyone, we don't need to do any more research on that one. It's $150 million of new money for socialized medicine. We don't need to do any research on that. But when it comes to helping you with your property taxes, or maybe allowing veterans or people with PTSD or cancer or ALS or whatever to have medical relief under a doctor's supervision. Well, we're gonna need more time.
We need research. We're gonna need more research.
You gotta beware the reefer madness.
Yeah, because Kev would be a real detriment to society. sweet Kevin, he's really out of control when he's on the lettuce.
It's the devil's lettuce.
Sweet Kevin, I think that's a strain that's available, actually.
I've had it. No, I'm not saying I had it.
Finally trending, Duran Duran. They have announced a 2023 North American tour. It's going to be an arena tour, and it's called Future Past. It's 25 minutes after 11. Let's get to this Tulsi Gabbard clip really quick if we can.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. So reports are now out, and this should also things that should enrage everyone, that says, according to Israel, the Biden administration deliberately prevented peace negotiations between Russia and the Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And Tulsi Gabbard sums this up and expresses feelings better than I ever could on this. So if it's all right with you, I will just allow her to articulate my feelings. Go ahead.
Well, because the former Prime Minister of Israel, Naftali Bennett, just said the West, meaning the Biden administration, blocked a truce in order to, quote, keep striking Putin. This seems like a huge story from a reliable source. Tulsi Gabbard is a former presidential candidate we thought we'd check in with on this story. Tulsi Gabbard, thank you so much for coming on. So I have no idea why the former Prime Minister of Israel admitted this in public. I'm so grateful that he did. How can the New York Times, the Washington Post, how can all the cheerleaders for this refuse to acknowledge this fact?
This is huge. We could have prevented this. Our leaders, those in power, could have prevented this, and they didn't. And the fact that it's not being widely reported is incredibly revealing, and it just shows they never really cared about the Ukrainian people. They never really cared about the American people or democracy or freedom, all of these other things that we hear them giving so much lip service to. It reveals what they've really wanted all along, which is to overthrow the Putin regime. And they saw this war as an opportunity that would help them achieve that goal. And it's disgusting to know that this is true. The thing is, Tucker, you and I both know with regime change wars, no one can predict how they'll end up or what happens next or who's going to take over. But we do know with Russia, because they've already, the writing is on the wall, we do know that in Russia, it's not going to be some, pro-Western or pro-democracy, power that goes and takes over. It's going to be someone that is far more hawkish and far more dangerous, creating a greater threat for the United States. The only way that this war ends is through a negotiated outcome. So unless something radical changes, something major changes, unfortunately, what we, the American people, will see, what the Ukrainian people will see, people in the world, is that this will continue to escalate, pushing us closer to a direct conflict between the United States, NATO, and Russia. And we've talked about where that could potentially lead. More dangerous weapons, more countries involved, and increasing that risk of a potential nuclear war.
So there, and look, again, this is somebody putting their name behind it. It's not an anonymous source. It's a very reliable source, and I believe every part of that, because this country, no matter who's in office, Bush, Obama, other than some guy named Trump, who actually didn't get us involved in any new military conflicts, go back to Clinton, go back to the old man Bush. We have a military-industrial complex in which we live to get in foreign conflicts because that makes gajillions of dollars for people who give gajillions of dollars back to these politicians. That's what this has always been about. It's never been about peace. It's never been about a better society. It is about amping up the military-industrial complex, and it has worked once again, just like with Iraq and Afghanistan, and fill in your favorite ill-begotten foreign policy conflict we've been in since World War II. It has worked to perfection.
Yeah, the Biden administration did not want it prevented, and Biden can't work with Putin or doesn't want to. It's 11:29. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Does runaway inflation and reckless spending in Washington have you worried about the security of your hard-earned retirement savings? If so, it's time to call the precious metals experts at Fisher Capital. Fisher Capital specializes in helping investors like you diversify their retirement portfolio and preserve wealth with physical gold and silver. Whether you're looking to acquire coins or bars, open a gold IRA, or just want to learn more about the advantages of owning precious metals, Fisher Capital will equip you with the knowledge to make an informed decision that's right for you and your family. Call Fisher Capital today at 800-376-4333. That's 800-376-4333. Mention WIBC when you call to get a free no-obligation investor kit. 800-376-4333. 800-376-4333. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Don't lose another night's sleep worrying about the security of your retirement savings. Call Fisher Capital. 800-376-4333.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Changes to the school. I'm Sasha Nixon. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Indiana State University is being forced to make some tough decisions thanks to declining enrollment numbers at the school. Kurt Darling has more.
Dr. Lori Henson is the last full-time journalism professor at Indiana State. She says at the end of the school year, she's being laid off.
After my line ends on May 31st, there will be nobody else on campus whose responsibility is teaching journalism.
She's part of a handful of layoffs of non-tenured professors at the school due to budget cuts. Henson says the de facto elimination of ISU's journalism school is concerning because she says it's important that students from working-class families have access to journalism as a career option. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price for gas across the state is $3.22 per gallon, according to GasBuddy.com. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
And now a small business setback. Set to smooth jazz.
It's late. You're driving in the rain with only one thing on your mind. The deer about to total your HVAC van. But with Progressive's 30-plus customizable coverage options, you're covered. The rest is just saxophone.
When running your small business gets rough, Progressive Commercial is there to smooth it out. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Twinkly sound.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
$111,000. Would you be upset if you lost $111,000? I know I would be. Get this. 96% of Americans lose an average of $111,000 in Social Security income. And it's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. But you could avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery right here in Indy. He knows Social Security like the back of his hand. This free analysis will teach you exactly when you file for your benefits, so you don't leave one thin dime on the table. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-972-9172. That's 317-972-9172. 317-972-9172.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Still thinking about what to get her for Valentine's Day? Make that special occasion last forever and surprise her with a gift from Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
And look at my life. 24
Hey, there you go.
So much more.
I mean, it's not Long May You Run, but it's fine.
It's still good.
I mean,
still
it's
a
fine.
classic.
It's 11:34. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So there's this bill allowing highway work zone speed cameras in Indiana, and it's moving forward to the House. It was recently voted, and it could be up. It's been up for discussion for a while, but it could actually pass. So the bill sponsor, his name is Jim Pressel, he said the measure would allow for speed cameras in 4 work zones in the state.
Sure, right. That's how it always starts. Remember when they had the pre-K pilot program? And we're going to study this for 5 years, and then we'll figure out if it worked or not, and then we'll make the decision. And then within like 2 years, it was like the actual law of the state of Indiana. Yeah, that's never how it works. So why don't we see? It comes back to the lack of intellectual honesty from our lawmakers, right? Whether it's the national people or whether it's the local people, you're desperate for revenue. You want a money grab. So we're going to just put speed cameras in all it's construction zones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just say that to people. Say we are desperate for money, and because we spend money like it's going out of style. We're adding $5.5 billion to the budget. We're never going to stop spending money. It's always going to go up, and so we need more revenue. And so we're going to put speed cameras in every construction zone. Okay, cool. Now we've had, whether we agree with it or not, we've had an honest conversation with each other. No, you're going to lie to us and say, well, we're just going to do this in 4 places. And Casey, I guarantee you, if this becomes a law, within 2 years, it'll be in 50 locations.
It'll be everywhere. So the cameras are going to allow for speeding tickets to be issued to drivers if they're captured on camera going at least 11 miles per hour over the speed limit when workers are present. So there's some stipulations here, right? So these cameras, have to know when people are clocking in and out of work, and then 11 miles per hour over the speed limit. So the first offense is going to be a warning. And then the second time, it's a $75 ticket. And then after that is $150.
How long do you think the warning?
Right. It's going to last.
And then it'll drop to 5, and then it'll drop to 1, and then it'll drop to 0. How much? Jim Pressel? Is that this underachiever's name that's sponsoring the bill? I'd love to know how much time Jim Pressel spent on this bill, and then I'd love to ask Jim Pressel how much time he spent on figuring out how to solve the rising property tax assessment and property tax bill crisis. Because they never put the time in on stuff that benefit us, the people, all people. It's always a select group, this group, that group. Now it's giving illegal immigrants driver's licenses. They never put the time and the effort into the stuff that limits the revenue to the government and helps the people. They always put the stuff in that adds money to the treasury, doesn't it?
His name is Rob Kendall. My name is Casey Daniels. It's 93 WIBC, and the U.S. Navy released the first close-up photos of that operation to recover parts of the Chinese spy balloon. So the photos show debris recovery efforts. This happened on the coast of Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. And it's kind of interesting that now we're getting all of these sorts of photos, right, and information. Americans know about it, so we can't unclose that box. So we might as well share with you photos of what's going on. So how much you want to bet that they're going to say that we gained valuable information and that China didn't find anything?
And they'll not tell you what information that we garnered from this because, well, that would be a national security issue, and we couldn't tell you about that. Of course, letting the balloon fly completely across the country, doing who knows what, that wasn't much of a national security issue, but telling you what we found from the balloon we shot down, that would be a huge national security issue.
Okay, so the divers were working on this, and they're picking up the payload, right? And it's estimated to be the size of 3 buses. Are these school buses? Are they green school buses? Does Kamala Harris know about this?
I see what you did there.
It likely sunk to about 45 feet in the water, but here's where it gets interesting. They're saying that the balloon that was carrying the sensor and the photography equipment is not intact.
Oh, well, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So we can all agree on the following things, right, Casey? So there was indeed a balloon. It was from China. Biden's administration has stated they don't believe under any circumstance that it just accidentally got off course. That we agree with that, okay. And we agree that this balloon then was allowed to fly across the entire country. We all agree on those facts. They are not in dispute. You can't say Rob is a Biden-hating, right-wing, radical, Republican, whatever. Okay, because this is very odd because Kate Bedingfield, who is Biden's communications director, came out and on CNN described that Biden handled the Chinese spy balloon effectively and with strength.
The speech and the larger pieces about his foreign policy have not been reworked because of this balloon. Now, what I will say about the balloon is that the president handled it effectively and with strength.
So they allowed a Chinese spy balloon that they admit was a Chinese spy balloon to go across the entire country and did absolutely nothing. And they call that effectively and with strength.
Yeah. And they're also saying that that they got valuable information on how they operate. What, the balloon or the camera? Because the camera is not intact. It's on the bottom of the ocean floor. So we don't know how balloons work in our country. Pieces of it are being brought to the FBI lab in Quantico for analysis. It's 20 minutes in front of 12. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Let's talk about what's going on with Amazon and Jeff Bezos and what he did. You found this story, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Jeff Bezos switched the name of Amazon. It wasn't originally going to be called Amazon.
Right.
He liked the name Amazon because he said it sounded exotic, and it also appears at the top of any alphabetized list.
Right.
But that wasn't the original name for Amazon. It was originally going to be called Cadabra, as in abracadabra.
Isn't this interesting? Because you wonder, obviously, look, Amazon started as the guy selling books basically out of his garage, and he turned it into arguably the most powerful company in the entire world. And that's truly an amazing story. And it's the sort of thing that can only happen in this country. But it is interesting, right? And we talk about this with movies where what if so-and-so hadn't played this role? Like, there's nobody else you can picture being Forrest Gump. But Tom Hanks, right? There's nobody else you can picture being the Godfather other than Marlon Brando. There's nobody you can picture being George Patton other than George C. Scott, right? And so you wonder on those how different it would be. How different would Amazon's success have been, or would it have been any different if it was Cadabra?
Right. Well, the reason it switched was because Jeff Bezos' lawyer mistakenly heard the name Cadabra and thought it was cadaver, meaning dead body. Who wants the company of their name mistaken for a dead body? So Jeff Bezos didn't. So he switched the name to Amazon. And I think it just sums up a lot here.
Yeah.
That you've got a lot riding on a name and branding.
See, they're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's. Huh? They got the golden arches. Mine is the golden arcs.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. We will recap the State of the Union. Tommy Lahren will join us, 93 WIBC.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code DANCE at checkout. That's harrys.com, code DANCE. Enjoy!
Fellas, need an annual health exam for work or just want to start the year prioritizing your health? We recommend Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They check all your levels, not just your testosterone.
It's typically covered by most health insurance, and if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100. For full labs and an office visit with the provider, Low T Center specializes in men's health, making it quick and easy. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Are you working
Working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
If you're feeling a little pressure to find the perfect gift to show someone what they mean to you this Valentine's Day, Cynthia's Hallmark is just the place to find it. It's Terry Stacy, and all 4 locations are Cupid ready. I'm going to start with my favorite from the Dimdaco Giving Collection. Charm bracelets and earrings that are pretty and personal. The charms are what make each set so meaningful. Whether the charms are hearts or paw prints for the pet lovers, they are a beautiful reminder of your love from the Giving Collection. Walk in the door at Cynthia's Hallmark and you don't have to walk far to find Valentine's Day gifts galore. From South Bend chocolates to exclusive Valentine's Day squishmallows, puzzles, a ceramic light-up Valentine tree, and the wildly popular fresh-cut paper flower bouquets. Send a stunning, colorful flower bouquet that pops up and comes with a greeting card. Just $12.99. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark at 116th and Allisonville Road, 116th and Brooks School Road, 96th and Lantern Road, and off I-70 in Greenfield.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
There's a lot of sexy content on the internet. And there's WIBC, full of faces meant for radio. Hammer and Nigel, Kendall and Casey. Okay, Casey could be on TV. Now streaming every day on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/WIBC.
Rocks in the hot sun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won.
It's 11:48. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. The Michael Jackson estate is in the process of selling half of their interests into the singer's music catalog. It's a deal that could be worth between $800 and $900 million.
Yeah, so my question to you, and this is because we are, for some reason, there's just been a slew of these that have taken place. And I don't know if this is because these artists, in the case of the ones who are still living, are getting older and they say, I want to be involved in the sale of this because it's my music. I want to know where it goes. I want to have a say over it rather than and take care of it while I'm living so my children don't have to do it. We saw Dylan did it. Genesis has done it. Bruce Springsteen has done it. Part of Taylor Swift's early stuff has been sold.
Yep.
This would by far be the most ever paid. I think Springsteen has the previous record at $600 million, but this would, just dwarf that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking to see because Bob Dylan's was between 150 and 200, and you're right, Springsteen's was 600. So if Michael Jackson, and they're not even talking about selling the entire catalog.
That's like 50% of it.
Yeah, 50%.
Here's my question.
How do you sell half a catalog?
Well, this would be my question to you because you obviously have worked in the business side of radio longer than I have. How do you monetize a $900 million investment? Like, is there that much money in using music for commercials or movies? Or, like, where is the monetization at in a deal like this? That can't be that much in films and whatever. I mean, is it to the Spotifys and the terrestrial radio? I mean,
the radio
how do you
stations
make your money back?
That
on
have
this?
to pay BMI and ASCAP fees.
Yeah, I don't know.
And does Michael Jackson music still get played that much that it's worth between $800 and $900 million?
What a great question. So that's even better, right? Because, okay, you think about what Michael Jackson songs do you hear on the radio regularly? Obviously, Beat It, Billie Jean.
Yeah. Want to be starting something.
Yeah.
Smooth Criminal.
Don't stop till you get enough.
Well, isn't the Alien, was it Adam Ant or Alien Ant? Or
Alien Ant Farm.
Alien Ant Farm. That is
the remake?
That is the superior version of Smooth Criminal.
But you're only going to hear those on like a flashback, 80s weekend, or, I mean, are those aren't really in regular rotation on a contemporary hit radio station.
So this is what I'm trying to figure out is, look, I know Michael Jackson obviously was a colossal commercial juggernaut while he was living, and certainly, I mean, he didn't do much in the latter part of his life, but mid 80s, early 80s through the early 90s. I mean, he was by far the biggest star in the world. I mean, Black or White, Heal the World, all of those things were just, colossally huge, bad, but you just, and I'm asking for pure ignorance, and maybe the answer is super obvious. How do you recoup a $900 million investment when you're splitting that with someone else? I don't understand that.
Okay, and even farther along, there's this Primary Wave Music, which already owns a stake.
Yeah.
In his publishing catalog.
Well, and it's like when Michael Jackson bought the Beatles. Remember when that was a huge thing? When he bought the Beatles song catalog? This was in the early 90s, I think. And he played what at the time was a colossal amount of money. There was probably a certain thing for Michael Jackson, a pride thing to say, I am rich enough to own the Beatles music.
Yeah.
But Michael Jackson,
prestige.
Sony is not in it for pride. Sony's in it for money.
Okay, now part of this deal with Sony does include MJ the Musical, which is a Broadway show, so they'll get all the receipts, or at least 50% of the receipts from that. And it also includes the upcoming biopic Michael. So is Sony going to get 50% of all of the movie tickets sold and all of the merch that goes along with it as well? Because then maybe you could make up the $900 million, depending on if enough people go see that movie.
But we're seeing ridiculous prices paid, like, again, Springsteen, $600 million. There is no Bruce Springsteen movie.
Right.
Like, you bought the catalog.
Right.
There's no Bob Dylan movie. I mean, Genesis was $300 million. I mean, it's just, there's some reason, again, that this is being done. And in all these articles where I see this, there's not some obvious answer of, here's how we intend. And if I'm because Sony, as far as I know, is a publicly traded company, I would be asking that question if I owned stock in Sony, which is nobody's buying CDs anymore.
Right.
So what?
So where?
Yeah.
Spotify and really?
Yeah, I don't know.
The
I don't know.
fees that radio stations get?
Kevin, you look into that today. That is your job because you are a musician and you may need to know this for Uno Gold.
One day when Sony offers to buy the entire Uno Gold library.
Yeah, you'll need to know
catalog.
this. So why don't you look into how they're monetizing this? That's your job to figure out. We want at least one thing, how they're going to monetize this and make their money back.
On it.
All right, perfect.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So Keanu Reeves, he surprised a staff at a pub and the people went crazy. Where did this happen? This happened over in Europe somewhere, I'm gathering, because they're calling it a pub. And people were shaking his hand, taking his picture, offering him free food and drinks, thanking him, posing with him.
So he just randomly walked in.
He randomly walked in, and the staff went crazy.
You ever met anybody famous randomly? I know you've interviewed lots of famous people through your radio career, but just you. I was in a Kohl's, and so and so walked in. Like, have you ever bumped into famous people randomly?
Yes. One. It's not too obscure though. Steven Spielberg, who was at the Warner Brothers commissary, but it was at the Warner Brothers commissary, which is a cafeteria. So it's not a surprise that
Did you talk to him?
No, I didn't. He was wearing a baseball cap and he sat a couple seats away from me.
But you knew it was him.
I knew. Oh yeah. I mean,
and you
could
didn't
tell
you
it was
didn't get up and say hi?
No, I didn't go super
What a missed
fan.
opportunity.
I met Roger Clemens, the baseball player,
yeah.
at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum.
He was just moseying around?
Yeah, so that was kind of
Did you know
random.
who he was? Or was your dude with you and said, that's Roger?
The dude.
Oh, you didn't know who he was?
And you know what I did? I fanned and I can I have your autograph?
My man says you play baseball. Is that
Who
true?
are you? Can I have your autograph?
And your dude is smart enough because he collects stuff
Mm-hmm.
that he was like, she is much more apt to get the ball signed than I am.
me.
So good move, Jim.
Mm-hmm. So I met Bon Jovi at Notre Dame, but he was there for his kid.
Yeah, right.
David Robinson,
Yeah.
same thing. Met him at Notre Dame, and he was there for his kid.
Kev, you ever bumped into anybody famous randomly?
I met the Strokes producer. Not really.
I said famous.
I haven't bumped into like a
Producer.
celebrity.
Producer.
Yeah, but that was a big deal for me because you know.
Good enough.
I'm
Fair
into
enough.
that.
What about you?
I met you.
Good enough. Perfect way to end the show. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Kevin. And thank you for listening. We're going to count on you to be back here tomorrow. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
There's the good parts we all think about. The crackling of wood on a cold winter night, the warmth and glow in the room. And then there's the other part. The stale campfire smell, the potentially dangerous creosote buildup. It's easy to forget about the importance of fireplace maintenance. The certified professionals at Chimney Solutions Indiana can keep your fireplace clean and safe using trusted products and repair techniques. Call 317-757-6979 or go to chimneyindy.com.
It's always hunting season at the 25th Annual Indiana Deer, Turkey, and Waterfowl Expo, February 23rd through 26th at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. It's the largest hunting expo in the Midwest, displaying the largest hunting, archery, and waterfowl gear. Hunting outfitters from around the globe. Learn from the pros at the Hunting Seminar Series. Get your deer scored and see the Hoosier Record Book Hall of Fame. And it's all happening during the Ford 68th Annual Indianapolis Boat, Sport, and Travel Show. Buy tickets online at IndySportShow.com. Another Renfro production.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Visit shelterinsurance.com to find an agent to help you pick a policy that's right for you. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Hubler has it, savings. Hubler has it, choices.
Hubler really does have it all. All of our pre-owned vehicles are Hubler Q certified, which include a 128-point vehicle inspection, a free Carfax vehicle history report, and 2 warranties. A 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and a 30-day, 1,000-mile comprehensive warranty. Visit any of our 13 locations today, or click drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
Turn to the experts at Howald Heating and Carrier for all your heating needs. Howald Heating, Air, and Plumbing, where coming home never felt so good. Online at howaldheatingandair.com.
Hi, this is Denny Smith. Have you been putting up with water issues at your home? How about taking advantage of $100 off a water tune-up from C&J Water? Well water or city water, you need to stay on top of your water quality, and C&J can do a performance check on your softener and filter, a water analysis, a sediment filter change, a resin refresh, and a couple of bags of salt. Preventive maintenance on your water system works. C&J, they're local, they're exceptional, they're affordable. 317-733-SOFT or cnjwater.com.
Discover how to save more of your hard-earned money. Listen to WIBC this Saturday from 5 to 6 a.m. for secure retirement tips from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. This Saturday, 5 to 6 a.m. on WIBC.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Spring Show
offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindieshows.com.
February 10th through 12th at Grand Park in Westfield.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
Want Medicare and Social Security sunset.
The president is being very dishonest.
Put that.